4. Investors seem unimpressed with the government's latest report showing the economy grew in the first quarter at a 3.2% annual rate. Grant Thornton chief economist Diane Swan says the economy grew for the wrong reasons.
We saw a big build in inventories and slowdown in trade. In fact, consumer spending slowed to a crawl, investment slowed, and government spending flatlined because of the government shutdown.
At the same time, business and consumer spending was lower in the first quarter. Oil is down by the most in 4 months as President Trump pressed OPEC to lower prices. Doubts grew about the impacts of supply squeezes from Russia and Iran. It's trading at $62.99 a barrel, down to $2.22. Bloomberg Money watching 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Larry Kaufman for 1010 Win.
Now this message, Catholic Cemeteries of the Archdiocese of Newark. To learn more, visit CatholicJourney.org.
If you win the Mega Millions jackpot, you and your family can spend more days at the beach in the south of France. Take a chance on the $212 million jackpot because anything can happen in Jersey.
Win key time 227.
At Englewood Housing, experience a team that knows you and knows how to care. That's why there's Ethos. Ethos is a modern kind of life insurance that's super fast, incredibly affordable, and very uncomplicated. At GetEthos.com, there are no medical exams for policies covering under $1 million, no hours of paperwork, or meetings with pushy representatives. It only takes 10 minutes to apply, and you can rest assured knowing you've taken steps to protect your family. And in most cases, with Ethos, you can have that peace of mind for less than a cup of coffee a day, with no hidden fees. Having life insurance can free you from stress. Getting life insurance shouldn't cause it. Discover how uncomplicated life insurance can be at Ethos. Get your free instant quote and submit your complete application in minutes. Just go to GetEthos.com. That's ETHOS. GetEthos.com. GetEthos.com.
Weather together on the 8th. We've got a lot of water on the roads, Jim Feldman.
Yeah, we certainly do, and most of it is in Brooklyn on the BQE northbound at Chapman Plaza. You've got that flooding that's affecting the right and the center lanes there. Also, Belt Parkway, you've got flooding as well in Queens, right around Rockaway Boulevard. 3 lanes are affected by that. Craig called us to let us know. Craig, thank you very much. He says it's passable, but again, you want to do it with a lot of extra caution. It's also slowing traffic down on the Belt Parkway. It's going back to around Merrick Boulevard. Delays also on the LIE to watch out for eastbound as you're getting in Nassau County, westbound with a crash by the Van White. The closure continues on 5th Avenue between 57th and 41st Street. The funeral for Marine and firefighter Christopher Sludman, and now they are in the process of closing the FDR, as that is where the funeral procession will go. So you've got delays as you're getting up to around 48th Street. That is where the closure is. Closure is northbound on the FDR starting at 48th Street. And you've got delays still on the southbound side, too. An earlier accident by 48th has finally been cleared away. Now the forecast from the WCBS Weather Center.
Cloudy the rest of this afternoon through early tonight. Periods of heavy rain and a couple of thunderstorms. The downpours leading to flooding of poor drainage areas and ponding on roadways, and storms can produce strong gusty winds. A high temperature today not occurring till early this evening at 64. The rain will taper off late tonight. It'll become quite windy, and it'll turn chilly, a low of 50 and windy. Chilly weather tomorrow with clouds and occasional sunshine, high in the upper 50s. We stay chilly on Sunday. Mostly cloudy, some afternoon showers, and a high of 58. Temperatures now range from 50 in Ardsley to 63 in Westfield. It's 52 in Midtown and a late day high of 64.
WCBS News Time, 2:30.
More than just the headlines. This is WCBS News Radio 880.
L train service cutbacks begin tonight at 10 o'clock. Governor Cuomo defends the partial service cuts as faster, better, and cheaper than a full shutdown. Funeral services are held in Manhattan for city firefighter and Marine Staff Sergeant Christopher Slutman, killed by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan. In sports, Islanders open their playoff series against Carolina at Barclays Center tonight. Mets host the Brewers, weather permitting. Our game night broadcast starts at 6 p.m. We've got some strong thunderstorms passing through the area, hard rain, and it's 53 degrees, actually down to 52 now on this Friday, April 26th. Good afternoon. I'm John Metaxas. WCBS News Time, 2:31. Well, welcome to L. That's the headline in the New York Post on the service cutbacks that start tonight on the L train. WCBS reporter Steve Burns is in Williamsburg with the details.
We are going to L and back over the next year plus. Shutdown of the train. Governor Cuomo stepped in
in January and proclaimed things would be done differently.
The train runs 24/7. That eliminates 99% of the problem.
But brings up a whole new set of problems. Only one tube out of the two will be open on nights and weekends, so trains can only run every 20 minutes between Brooklyn and Manhattan. The MTA says there may be severe overcrowding, so you might want to think about something else.
We're encouraging people to take alternate subway service. Subways will continue to be the fastest way to travel.
The MTA's managing director, Ronnie Hakam, says there will be added service on the G, M, and 7 trains. We still don't know exactly how much this new plan costs and when it'll be over. Initial estimates pegged it at just under 2 years, but now the Daily News reports the MTA got a good head start on work. Things might be back to normal this time next year. In Williamsburg, Steve Burns, WCBS News Radio 880.
Now, as we've been telling you, Governor Cuomo ordered the revised L train plan, replacing the original plan that would have meant a total shutdown while repairs were made. He spoke without Pat Farnack this morning on WCBS.
There's no doubt that this is faster, it's better, it's cheaper, they're ahead of schedule. And the schedule, again, stops the total closure, and it's only a partial nighttime weekend closure. And they have to take this approach on everything they're doing. It's everything the MTA does. Their default position is, this is how we've always done it. My default position is, I don't care how you've always done it. I don't want to be unnecessarily disruptive, but we have to find better, faster, cheaper ways of doing these repairs, doing construction, and that has to be the mentality across the board. Don't tell me how you did it in the past. Tell me the best way of doing it going forward. And I think that's the lesson for the MTA to learn here. They gave tremendous pushback, and they had all sorts of news stories. There's a disruption. The governor wants people to review the MTA's plan. Yes, I do. I want to bring in fresh eyes. I want to bring in independent people, and I want to make sure to do it. New Yorkers deserve that. And it's counter to the way the bureaucracy changes. And you know what, Pat? The bureaucracy has to change because New Yorkers are not going to change, and they shouldn't.
Again, that reduced service begins at 10 p.m. tonight, running until 5 o'clock in the morning on Monday. And there will be further reduced service weeknights from that same 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. hour. The Archdiocese of New York has posted an online list of 120 priests who it says have been accused of sexual improprieties. It puts them into 3 categories: those credibly accused of sexual abuse, those accused of the possession of pornography, or those whose behavior had led to compensation claims being paid. Cardinal Timothy Dolan, in announcing the list, tweeted that no priest or deacon in the Archdiocese against whom a credible and substantiated claim of abuse of a minor has been made is currently in ministry. Not clear if that extends to everybody on the list. Of the 120 on the list, the majority are no longer alive, and many were removed from the ministry and defrocked. Funeral services were held in Manhattan today for City Firefighter and Marine Staff Sergeant Christopher Slutman. As we just heard from Jim Feldman, the FDR Drive is closed as his casket is being carried out of Manhattan. He will be buried on Tuesday in Arlington National Cemetery. He was killed by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan. WCBS's Kevin Rincon was at St. Thomas Episcopal Church today.
A final farewell from Marine Staff Sergeant Christopher Slutman. He was one of 3 Americans killed this month in Afghanistan. His casket was driven up Fifth Avenue as thousands of FDNY firefighters, along with NYPD officers, state police, and other first responders stood at attention. Slutman was not just a hero for his service overseas, but here at home. During his 15 years with the FDNY, he was awarded a Medal of Bravery for saving a woman from a burning home in the Bronx. He's survived by his wife Shannon and 3 daughters. Following the funeral today, he'll be laid to rest on Tuesday at Arlington National Cemetery. Outside St. Thomas Church in Midtown, Kevin Rincon, WCBS News Radio 880.
WCBS News Time, 2:36.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform. for video conferencing, phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms. Connect easily from anywhere. Your mobile phone, your laptop, or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
You're a small business owner, and there's nothing small about what you do. That's why Dell Small Business Technology Advisors give you trusted advice, one-on-one partnership, and tailored tech solutions, like computers with Intel Core processors, servers, storage, networking, plus thousands of top-brand electronics, accessories, and software. No matter your technology needs, Dell is here to help your small business do big things. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak with an advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
Excuse me, sir. What seems to be the trouble?
I owe so much money on credit cards. I can't afford to get the new Kia I wanted.
You should go to Gateway Kia, where you can buy any new 2019 or 2020 Kia with no down payment and no payments till July.
It's true. Make no down payment and no monthly payments till July. Leave your cash at home. Or buy any new 2019 or 2020 Kia and get up to $6,000 over book value for your trade. Or double your down payment up to $6,000. Hurry to Gateway Kia's April sales event with no down payment and no payments till July on any new Kia. Or get up to $6,000 over book for your trade. Or double your down payment up to $6,000. We'll see you at Gateway Kia, Route 1, North Brunswick. Shop online at gatewaykia.com. Gateway Kia.
Retail purchase only trade based on gallons value. All offers with KM and 0 approval discount from the U.S. interest to boost during deferral period. Must take delivery before 2019.
WCBS News Time 2:38. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. What's happening, Jim Feldman?
Well, we've got that closure on the FDR for the funeral procession of firefighter Christopher Slevin, John. So right now the closure is between 48th Street and the RFK Triborough Bridge as the procession makes its way north on the FDR. You've got delays to watch out for on the southbound side of Harlem River Drive, getting word of a crash right by the Willis Avenue Bridge, and delays also northbound on the ramp to the outbound George, and also northbound on the Henry Hudson Parkway. Delays as well to watch out for. Watch for slowdowns in the Bronx on the Deegan. You've got some trouble on the northbound side. It is a lot of volume as you're getting up to around the Cross Bronx, and then more delays up to Van Cortlandt Park. Eastbound Cross Bronx at the Deegan. It crashed, still has 2 lanes blocked. It's the right and the center lanes. That's affecting the inbound GWB as it stands right now. You're looking at about 15 to 20 minutes across the upper and the lower level. Still have 2 crashes in New Jersey on Route 4. One is westbound before Forest Avenue. Eastbound by Paramus Road on Route 4 is where the other accident is. And Craig just called us on the Mavis Discount Tire traffic tip line. Westbound Southern State near exit 13 by the Queens border. 2 separate accidents, both in the left lane. Thanks, Craig. Next traffic update less than 10 minutes away on WCBS.
Weather forecast now from our meteorologist, Bob Larson.
Periods of rain, some heavy this afternoon and evening. It can lead to flooding in poor drainage areas. Also, a couple of thunderstorms. Any storm this evening can produce strong gusty winds. By today's 64. The rain tapering off late tonight. Breezy and a low of 50. Chilly weather this weekend. Clouds and occasional sunshine tomorrow. Windy. High of 59. Mostly cloudy Sunday with a few showers likely in the afternoon and evening. High Sunday at 58 degrees.
Rain, fog, and mist in lower Manhattan. It's 52 degrees.
For the time, this is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. 52 degrees. It is 2:40 on this Friday, April 26th. I'm Susan Richard, and here's what's happening. A very somber gathering in Midtown where mourners paid final respects to an FDNY member killed in action in Afghanistan. Edie Falco joins the push to ban the sale of puppy mill dogs from pet stores in New York. A Lynbrook man now charged in a fatal hit and run. And Sunday's London Marathon to replace some 200,000 plastic water bottles with edible ones. And Winds AccuWeather, heavy rain, gusty thunderstorms through this evening.
This is John Minko. Tonight in Brooklyn, Islanders Hurricanes, Game 1 of their NHL playoff series. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft. Yanks in San Francisco.
Winds News Time 2:41. Time for traffic and transit. Here's Russ Meyer.
And Susan, you just mentioned the funeral for fallen Marine Christopher Slevin. It is impacting traffic with the funeral procession going on right now. First up, you have First Avenue closed off over by 48th Street. Got that from Dennis, who called in on our 1010 Wins traffic tip line. Thank you, Dennis. Then the FDR, a very long closure, 48th Street, all the way up to the RFK Bridge on the northbound side. from the bridge up to Bronx River Parkway. We will keep an eye on things for you. And also we heard from Joe on our 1010 Winds traffic tip line. He was driving along the belt westbound. Want you to know 3 lanes are flooded. Springfield Boulevard to Rockaway Boulevard. It is passable, but you do want to be very cautious there. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Going to be slick on all of those bridges as a result of the rain. In addition, delays on the Bronx-bound RFK Bridge and Queens-bound at the Whitestone Loop Better at the Throgsneck. Alternate side parking rules are suspended today and tomorrow. Meter rules remain in effect. I'm Russ Meyer, next report 251 on 1010 Winds.
Winds news time 2:42. A final farewell for a New York City firefighter who lost his life while serving in Afghanistan.
The cadence of muffled drums as the funeral procession for firefighter Christopher Slutman rolls down Fifth Avenue. Inside St. Thomas Church, his wife and 3 young daughters among the large extended family. Battalion Chief Chris Williamson.
I want to thank all of you for lending your son, brother, husband, and father to us for the last 15 years. We're all better for having Chris Slutman as a member.
The 47-year-old was killed in a roadside bomb attack in Afghanistan, where he served alongside Sergeant Major Chris Armstrong.
My heart broke as I thought of Chris's family and you.
Firefighter and Marine Staff Sergeant Christopher Slutman will be buried at Arlington National Cemetery. Al Jones, 1010 Winds at St. Thomas Church in Midtown.
Winds news time 2:43. We are not yet through with the severe weather across the area. Here's 1010 Winds AccuWeather meteorologist John Fearing.
We're going to have a few periods of rain out there this afternoon and into this evening. Also a couple of thunderstorms. Any thunderstorm can produce some damaging wind gusts, perhaps some power outages, some vivid lightning with storms as they work through. Also the potential for flooding on area roadways for the evening commute, but then things should dry out later on tonight.
Right now, 52 degrees. It is raining. The humidity 97%. The winds are east at 9, gusting to 21 miles an hour. 52, going down to 50 in Midtown. The police chief at the U.S. Naval Academy has been fired. That's after the Capitol reports that Chief Lance Royce was accused of sexual harassment. A spokesman would only say that the Navy takes the security and safety of its members seriously. The school, meantime, recently hosted a conference that focused on sex assault and harassment in the military. Winds news time 2:45.
How do you explain the joy of getting a small McCafe for only $2 from McDonald's? Well, it's like... yeah, like that. Get a $2 small McCafe iced caramel macchiato or caramel frappe from McDonald's. Joy included. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Are you taking Cialis or Viagra? Marley Drug has generics of both for just $12 per tablet. That's a savings of $60 per dose. Marley Drug is an independent pharmacy delivering generic Cialis and Viagra to your door for $12 per tablet. Call Marley Drug at 800-852-7354. That's 800-852-7354. Again, 800-852-7354.
Winds news time 2:45. Now 1010 Winds Sports, sponsored by Zalman, Sherman, and Minor, personal injury attorneys from the WFAN Sports Desk. Here's John Minko.
Susan, certainly a lot of discussion surrounding the football Giants and what they did on draft night. Certainly a surprise with first-round selection, 6th overall, Duke quarterback Daniel Jones, who will back up and learn from Eli Manning.
Very grateful for the opportunity, but I'm thrilled. I think it's a tremendous opportunity to be in New York, to be representing the Giants and have an opportunity to be part of that team. So I can't wait to get up there and get to work.
And bottom line is this, the Giants wanted 2 starters from the first round. It appears that's going to happen. 3 for first-round selections overall. They also got Clemson defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence and Georgia corner DeAndre Baker. Now, the Jets had the 3rd overall selection in the draft, Alabama defensive tackle Quentin Williams.
I'm hard-working, man. I'm a dedicated person. I'm a great man of character, a great person in general. I'm not a person of arrogance. I'm not a person of cockiness and things like that. I know how to work. I know there's some guys in front of me in the Jets program who been there a long time who I need to learn from.
Yeah, plans on being a hard worker. Sports is about numbers. How about these numbers? Dabo Swinney's new deal as Clemson football coach, 10 years, $93 million, led the Tigers to 2 of the past 3 national titles. Tonight at Barclays Center, Game 1, Eastern Conference semis, the Islanders and the Carolina Hurricanes. The Owls haven't played in 10 days. 2 nights ago, Carolina eliminated the defending Cup champion Capitals in 7 games. Double overtime win there. The baseball, the Yanks are in San Francisco for the weekend. They'll take on the Giants tonight. James Paxton against Madison Bumgarner. The Mets and Brewers are slated for Citi Field. Sports at 15 and 45 around the clock. John Minko, 10-10 wins sports.
10-10 winds, active weather, rain, and a thunderstorm that could be really heavy into the evening hours, and then a shower or 2 late tonight, down to 50 degrees. It's 52 and raining in Central Park. Winds news time 2:47. A first for Jay-Z. That's next.
If you or someone you love has been injured in an accident, call 1-800-LAW-LINE to speak with an experienced personal injury attorney at the law firm of Salman, Schnerman, and Minor. No matter what kind of accident you're involved in, whether while walking, driving, riding, motorcycling, biking, or working, the insurance companies will have lawyers representing their interests. So be sure to hire an experienced personal injury attorney to represent your interests. At the law firm of Salman, Schnerman, and Minor, your case will be personally handled by an experienced injury attorney. You will not be just another case number. So call 1-800-LAW-LINE or visit 1-800-LAWLINE.com. If you or someone you love has been injured in any type of accident, including motor vehicles, slips, trips, falls, construction, or wrongful death, call 1-800-LAW-LINE to schedule a free consultation. All cases are handled on a contingency fee. If you don't receive a recovery, you don't pay a fee. Call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That's 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Winds news time 2:48. Tonight's the big night near Union Square.
What a hip-hop.
A newly renovated Webster Hall reopens with a special Jay-Z concert. The hall had closed for repairs nearly 2 years ago in August of 2017. Renovations include the addition of central air conditioning, expanded restrooms, added stairwells, a new sound system, and the renaming of the Marlin Room as the Lounge. If you want to go, however, the cheapest tickets still available for tonight are going for about $1,000 a pop. A well-known actress among those supporting a new law aimed at puppy mills. It would ban pet store sales of any animal that comes from large breeding facilities.
Soprano star Edie Falco faced reporters while holding her dog Sammy, a puppy mill survivor.
She lived in a box in the dark, and she didn't have a name, and she just made puppies. And the second they were born, they were taken from her, and as soon as she was able, she was pregnant again.
Falco joining state lawmakers to support a bill banning pet stores from selling dogs, cats, and rabbits. Queens State Senator Michael Gennaro says these animals are raised inhumanely.
We should not be treating dogs and cats like cans of soup that you take off the shelf and buy at the supermarket.
Meanwhile, the pet store industry says this bill would put hundreds of stores out of business. Roger Stern, 1010 wins at the Upper East Side ESPCA shelter.
Winds news time at 2:49. Cops investigate a murder in Yonkers. Police say an 18-year-old woman was fatally shot in the head yesterday evening. It happened at Morningside and Lake Avenues when 2 different groups of people who had gotten into some kind of argument and someone pulled out a gun. The teen was rushed to the hospital where she later died. So far, there are no arrests. The weapon is yet to be recovered. Anyone with information is asked to call Yonkers police. The NYPD says it's Coptic Reef, who seem to think the Big Apple is Urinetown.
Late yesterday, the NYPD busting a man in Brooklyn on a charge of forcible touching. It was only after they started talking to him, they say, wait, this is the guy that was tossing those cups of urine in the Bronx. And indeed, they think they have their man. In connection with the attacks the morning of April 12th, although his name has not yet been released, he has been in police custody throughout the night. In the first incident, conductor of the 6 train not only got the urine cup in her face, also a punch in the head. An hour later, an MTA bus driver, the next victim, with a cup of urine tossed at her. She was driving on 138th Street and Grand Concourse. We'll keep you updated as to when charges are filed from here at the 40th Precinct. Glenn Shuck, 1010 wins in Mont Haven.
Winds news time 2:50. Police have made an arrest in a fatal hit-and-run in Lynbrook. Cops say it was 48-year-old Harley Dix who was behind the wheel last night when he struck a man crossing Merrick Road near Blossom Heath Avenue and kept on going. Short time later, police found his car in Hewlett and they took him into custody. The identity of the victims being withheld pending family notification. Dix has been charged with leaving the scene of a fatal accident. He'll be arraigned today in Hempstead. Winds news time 2:51. From the Ram Trucks Traffic Center, here's Russ Meyer.
And here is what we see on Long Island's Big 3. Westbound Southern State at Farmingdale Road. You got a crash blocking a lane. I want to thank Ginger who called in on our 1010 Wins traffic tip line. And she is just sitting there not moving. Also, a couple of crashes westbound over by Central Avenue. Meanwhile, traffic on the Northern State and the LI. Typical stuff for the afternoon. Eastbound slowdowns from Cross Island Parkway to Glen Cove Road. Some pockets of slow traffic along the way. The FDR has been closed off 48th Street to the RFK Bridge. And again, we have the northbound side of the Bruckner closed off from the RFK Bridge up towards Bronx River Parkway. The funeral procession going on, so I'll keep an eye on that one for you. Also, we've got a crash in New Jersey, backing up traffic on the westbound side of Route 4. It's over by Hackensack Avenue. New England Thruway, big delays north coming into exit 20 in Rye. That is an accident blocking the left lane is what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. 20 in at the GWB, 20 out, but 45 from the Cross Bronx Lincoln. Okay, 10 in at the Holland 20 into New Jersey. Also, the side rules are suspended today and tomorrow. Meter rules in effect. The support sponsored by Account Temps. I'm Russ Meyer, next report 301 on 1010 Wins.
Payroll, bookkeeping, month end. Are you feeling short-staffed? Account Temps can provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis when you need them to help with increased workloads. Call today or visit AccountTemps.com. Account Temps, a Robert Half Company.
Now the 1010 Wins AccuWeather 4-day forecast, sponsored by South Nassau Community's Hospital. Here's meteorologist John Feerick.
The heavy rain now lifting across western Connecticut. A little bit of a break in and around the 5 boroughs, but there's still some rain over much of New Jersey at this point, and we're going to continue to see periods of rain through the remainder of the afternoon and into the evening. Also, a couple of thunderstorms, and any thunderstorm that does move through later on this evening could bring some strong gusty winds, especially west of the city. The greater concern is street and highway flooding in areas of poor drainage with the heavier rain. Then we'll dry out later on tonight. Breezy, chilly, down to 50. Windy and chilly for tomorrow. Clouds, some sun, the high 59. Maybe some showers Sunday afternoon, high 58, then dry and cool on Monday. Right now in Central Park, 52. Cloudy, going up to 64 in Midtown this evening. This is AccuWeather's John Feerick on New York's weather station. 1010 Wins.
Winds news time 2:53. A new measles warning in our area, this time on Long Island, where officials are listing more locations visited by a man with the illness. They say he was at the King Cullen at 52 East Montauk Highway in Hampton Bays on April 20th between 2:30 and 5 p.m. The same day, he was also at the CVS at 111 South Main Street in Southampton between 4:45 and 7. Suffolk health officials say if you were at those locations at that time, please call them. The number is 631-854-0333. Again, 631-854-0333. As New York deals with the largest measles outbreak in years, California is also forced to take action.
A measles quarantine is in effect for scores of students and staff at UCLA and Cal State LA.
It's worrying to know that it's going on in the same place that I spend so much time.
In addition to California, measles cases are reported in 21 other states. Dr. Muntu Davis is with the LA County Department of Public Health.
The complications from it can be pneumonia, encephalitis, or swelling of the brain, and which could lead to death. Either one of those could.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Something new for the 41,000 runners taking part in Sunday's London Marathon. No plastic water bottles. Instead, to cut down on waste, the runners will be handed water in edible pods made from seaweed. They're produced by a London-based startup. They have no taste or smell but can be eaten. In fact, if thrown in the trash, they will biodegrade within 6 weeks. Marathon officials say by using these edible bottles, they will replace some 200,000 plastic ones. Wins News Time 2:55.
The results are in. South Nassau has earned 34 awards for excellence during the last 3 years from Healthgrades, an independent rating agency. South Nassau has been named among America's 100 best hospitals for orthopedic surgery and received the Gynecologic Surgery and Coronary Interventional Excellence Awards. They also received a 5-star rating for superior outcomes for women's services. South Nassau Community's Hospital in Oceanside, now the flagship Long Island Hospital of the Mount Sinai Health System, where quality matters. Visit southnassaw.org/quality.
Can I get a large coffee, cream and sugar?
Okay. That'll be $22.50.
What? For coffee?
Manhattan isn't affordable, but college in Manhattan can be. Mercy College in the heart of Midtown has
has made college education affordable for decades. Now we're getting a makeover with high-tech classrooms, sleek lounge spaces, and more academic options and internships this fall. Check out what's coming. mm.mercy.edu today.
That Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins, sponsored by ENT and Allergy Associates in affiliation with Mount Sinai. And here's Larry Koski.
The stock market heads into the final hour with prices barely in the plus column. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 6 points. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ Composite both showing gains of 5. Economic growth accelerated in the first quarter. The government says gross domestic product grew at a 3.2% annual rate. Analysts expected 2.3. Trade and inventory growth offset weakness in consumer and business spending. It was an ugly first quarter for ExxonMobil. Its refining business lost $256 million. Its worst showing in 17 years. Profits at its chemicals business fell by 49%. Overall, Exxon earned $2.3 billion, missing expectations. Slack has taken the next step in filing to go public. The work messaging platform has filed with the SEC, showing a loss of nearly $139 million for its latest fiscal year. It plans a direct offering on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol SK. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Larry Koski for 1010 Wins.
The clinical affiliation between ENT and Allergy and Mount Sinai is a true bridge connecting community and academic medicine.
Dr. Francisca Yao, otolaryngologist at ENT and Allergy Associates.
It enables patients to go from their local specialist to a world-class surgeon quickly and easily.
Dr. Satish Govindaraj, otolaryngologist, Mount Sinai Hospital.
So when you visit an ENT and Allergy office,
and your doctor determines you need further treatment at Mount Sinai,
we transfer your medical records to them instantly.
And we schedule your appointment within 24 to 48 hours.
There are no calls for you to make, no emails to send.
You have enough on your mind already.
There's simply no faster, smoother, or better way to get the head and neck care you deserve.
We've helped more than 10,000 patients since 2007.
And we can help you, too.
For your same-day appointment at ENT and Allergy, call 1-855-ENTA-DOC or book online anytime.
Make sure you have the full team
on your side.
Introducing the new $5 Biggie Bag from Wendy's. It comes with a new bacon double stack made with a quarter-pound of fresh, never frozen beef and topped with crispy applewood smoked bacon. Plus 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink all for just $5. That's right, just $5. The new $5 Biggie Bag from Wendy's is everything you could ever want. Well, at least for lunch. Try Wendy's new $5 Biggie Bag today. Biggie Bag includes 4-piece nuggets, small fries, and a small drink. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Approximate weight before cooked. Price and participation may vary in Alaska and Hawaii.
New message.
Scammers are aggressive when they contact a potential victim. Social Security Administration employees will never blatantly put information or promise benefits in exchange for information. In those cases, the call is fraudulent, and you should just hang up. Don't provide any personal or financial information to these thieves. Call the Social Security Fraud Hotline at 1-800-269-0271.
WINS, WINS-HD, WAWHT3 New York.
A radio.com station.
Winds News Time 2:59, 1010 Winds AccuWeather. Periods of rain and a thunderstorm into this evening that could bring heavy downpours and gusty winds. And then on the overnight, still a shower or two as we drop down to 50 degrees. Tomorrow, clouds with some sun, a chilly gusty wind, the high only 59. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, becoming less windy, 46. On Sunday, cloudy, chilly, back to some rain, and a high of 58. 52 and raining now. The humidity 97%. The winds are east at 9, gusting to 21 miles per hour. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. John Davis is our service aide. Julie Vaughn is the writer. Walter Geis is at the editor's desk. I'm Susan Richard.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds. You give us 22 minutes. We'll give you the word.
Good afternoon. 52 rainy degrees at 3 o'clock on this Friday, April 26th. I'm John Belmont. Here's what's happening. More tears shed
at today's Manhattan funeral for an FDNY firefighter who died serving his country in Afghanistan. The Archdiocese of New York releases a list of 120 priests believed credibly accused of sexual abuse or other bad behavior. Reduced nighttime and weekend service on the L train starts tonight. Governor Cuomo telling 1010 Winds repairs already are underway and are going faster than planned. Google celebrating the opening of Avengers Endgame with an Easter egg about the supervillain Thanos. 1010 Winds AccuWeather periods of heavy rain with a thunderstorm or two right into this evening. High 64.
This is John Binko. The aftermath of round one of the NFL draft, rounds 2 and 3 tonight. Islanders Hurricanes playoff opener in Brooklyn, the Yanks in San Francisco, the Mets are home to the Brewers.
I'm Bloomberg's Larry Kosky. The stock market starting the final hour with prices narrowly higher. The Dow with a gain of 13. The Nasdaq is up 8.
Wednesday's time 3:01 from the Ram Trucks Traffic Center. Here's Russ Meyer.
And John, because of the funeral for fallen Marine and FDNY firefighter Christopher Slutman, we have got closures now. They have just reopened the FDR Drive North. It was shut down from 48th to the RFK Bridge. Now they are holding up traffic going into the Bronx by way of the RFK Bridge, and the Bruckner blocked off northbound between the RFK Bridge and the Sheridan till further notice. So we'll keep a watch on that for you. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. Southern State subject to closure over by 109. We've got an accident, and then another one westbound over by Central Avenue causing backups. Pretty typical slowdowns on the eastbound side of the LIE and the Northern State from Cross Island Parkway out towards Glen Cove Road. Here is what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. In addition to that partial closure of the RFK Bridge, we have slowdowns on the Grand Center getting onto the Bronx-Manhattan-bound span. Queensbound side of the RFK Bridge, the Whitestone Bridge has delays, a bit better over at the Thrives Neck. Alternate side roads suspended for today and tomorrow. Meter rules in effect. The support sponsored by New York State Gaming Commission. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. I'm Russ Meyer on 1010 Winds.
New York, play Win 4 from April 21st through 27th and boost your win with the Booster Ball promotion. Winners get an extra 5, 10, or 20% during Booster Ball days. Must be 18 or older to purchase a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly.
Wednesday's time 3:03. It's just spring, not monsoon season, but we're getting a pretty good dose of rain through tonight. Let's get a live read of the situation from AccuWeather meteorologist Dave Samuel.
Yeah, John, we're getting a little break in the action right now. We had some thunderstorms rumbling through earlier. Now there's some lighter rain moving through. It's cool out there, only in the low to mid-50s, but temperatures will be climbing as you head into the evening. Meanwhile, I'm tracking a cold front. It is slicing through central Pennsylvania, Maryland, Northern Virginia at this time. The DMV, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, looking at all sorts of warnings right now. We'll see this activity head our way. It's going to mostly be a heavy rain threat locally, but I can't rule out 1 or 2 stronger storms with high winds, especially in New Jersey. Just areas that'll get a little warmer. The cooler marine air will help us out a bit. But again, we'll keep flooding away. We'll likely have flooding conditions through the evening commute, and this will be a problem until about midnight. But then we'll have drier conditions overnight. Just a cool weekend coming our way. John?
Okay, stay with 1010 Winds for the latest on these waves of rain, and expanded traffic starts next hour. Wednesday's time 3:04. A final farewell today to a veteran who served the FDNY and the Marine Corps Reserve, dying this month in Afghanistan. 1010 Winds newsman Al Jones covering Christopher Slutman's funeral in Manhattan.
The Emerald Society pipes and drums leading the funeral procession to and from St. Thomas Church, packed with mourners remembering firefighter and Staff Sergeant Christopher Slutman. His wife, 3 young daughters, and large extended family in the first few pews. Mayor de Blasio.
We can never repay his family for their loss. What we can do is be there for them.
Sergeant Major Chris Armstrong with a message for the girls.
Your daddy is and will forever be our hero. And this world is a better place to have been graced by such an amazing man.
Christopher Slutman died in a roadside bomb attack in Afghanistan. He'll be buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Al Jones, 1010 Winds in Midtown.
Wednesday's time 3:05. The Archdiocese of New York today released its own list of priests, bishops, and deacons. 120 of them, the church believes, have been credibly accused of sexual abuse, possessing porn, or who have otherwise behaved in a way that's led to compensation claim.
And the 17th pick, who I don't think is a bad player, but if he gets to be good, he'll be snacks. And he is a 340-pound run stopper. You're not going to see him play on third down. They can tell you he's not. I'm not playing 3rd and 1. Not going to rush your quarterback. They did not get anybody they did not fix that defense. They passed on a terrific player, one that Tom Coughlin jumped on even though he didn't need him, and had his own holes to fill. He couldn't pass on what he called, and this is from Tom, a superior player in Josh Allen. And this is not a debate right now. We can have that debate on the side of whether or not Daniel Jones was the right quarterback to pick. Is he the right player? That is a separate debate. This is about the plan for the team. And what I come away with is they don't have a plan. They send veteran players away. They act like they're trying to win now. And then what they do is with the most important asset they had, the 6th pick in the draft, where you have to, as a bad team, get a playmaker. They got a guy who is going to stand there with a clipboard next year. That's how he's going to help this team win. So you tell me how they're trying to win with Eli Manning if the guy they got at 6 cannot help him, that they can't be on the field together. Unless he's got another position he plays. This is utter nonsense. This is a team that has not a clue what it's doing. Or it just talks out of both sides of its mouth. And then I hear all this crazy stuff that the Mannings, they were in charge of this. They brought him here. You think Eli Manning's happy that they drafted a quarterback 6 who now is in play? Remember, he got on the field because the Giants, with a winning record, took a future Hall of Fame quarterback and put him on a bench so that they could play their future. This is how Gettleman and Shermer are going to play this, because Shermer already said it. Eli's job is to keep him on the bench. Which means, although we don't have any clue how we're going to get enough players, considering we have basically sent a bunch of them away and haven't replaced them, we don't know how we're going to have a defense since we have no pass rush. But should we somehow win, we'll take the credit. And if we lose, we'll put the kid in at quarterback, bench Eli, and say, hey, it's about next year. That's their fallback position, and that's exactly what it is, a fallback position. That's what this is about, and that's what Eli Manning sees, and that's why they called Eli Manning last night, because I don't know what they told him, but I guarantee you he was a little surprised that they took a quarterback at 6. And the idea that he orchestrated them to take a quarterback at 6 is utterly ridiculous. You want me to prove it to you? Eli has already canceled his show for this year because he doesn't like the thought of being on that show weekly if he isn't the starting quarterback. That's how sure he is he's going to be a starting quarterback this year. He sees the handwriting on the wall, and if you don't, well, pay attention. They don't have enough players to be good. They didn't get the pass rusher they needed. And there would have been, everything would have had to fall into place for them to have a good team. That's how many holes they have to fill. They have massive holes to fill. They sent away good players. And I thought they had a plan, and they were going to take a shot at it, but it's a bunch of garbage when you do that and you say, we're behind Eli, we think we can win with Eli, and then we take the 6th pick in the draft. And instead of getting a pass rusher who could maybe be a difference maker, they get a kid who's going to carry a clipboard. How does that make you better? Garbage. Nonsense. This is about we found. I'm in love. In love? Give me a break. If you in love with the quarterback, then put him out there, let him play, and you should have used your assets by getting rid of Eli and use that money to get more players. Because the Giants would like to win a couple of games and not be the new doormats of the league anymore, which they've become over the last 6 years. The Giants now act like losers. They have no plan like losers, and the people running the team, in my estimation, are losers. I don't believe a word Gettleman says, not a word. He lied to everybody about what he was doing, which is fine, okay? Now live with it. But the idea that you're going to sell somebody that the best plan is that with a team, and don't give me this Kansas City garbage. First of all, there's no Mahomes in the building. Secondly, that team won 12 and 10 games the 2 years before Mahomes stepped on the field. They were already a playoff team. This team has been awful with no defense. I mean, to me, the Giants are now an utter embarrassment. And I'm telling you, they have no plan, folks, no plan. And I don't know if Jones is going to be good or bad. He didn't excite me this year, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be a good player. I don't know if he's going to be the next Eli Manning or the next Dave Brown. And neither did the Giants. We're going to find that out. But what we do know is I can guarantee you that if the Giants are 3-6 or 3-7, because they have a rotten defense, or because the guys they brought in didn't do the job, or whatever the reason may be, you will see them play next year's quarterback, and that will be the end of Eli Manning's career. And Eli will go out, quite ironically, the same way he came in, putting what I think will be a future Hall of Fame quarterback on the bench, which is what Eli did with about 7 games left in his rookie year. Put a future Hall of Fame quarterback on the bench. Because that way, it's about next year. And they can sell you about next year. They can stop talking about the mess they created this year, and they can talk to you about next year. When teams start talking to you about next year in the middle of this year, it's because they don't know what the hell they're doing. And this group doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Because there was no plan here. No plan. How the heck are you going to win this year with Eli Manning if the guy who you are going to pick with the 6th pick, who's got to be a playmaker for you, is a guy who cannot step on the field with Eli Manning? And if you were so in love, then why did you spend all this money and have now spent, look how much money they have spent in quarterbacks between the 2 contracts on a team that has no chance to win. Forget whether they could have got Jones at 17. Listen, we can debate that one till the cows come home. I don't know if it's true. You don't know if it's true. I have no idea. Could they have gotten him at 10? Maybe. I don't know. And you know what? Who knows? Who cares? The bottom line is, I believed him when he came on my show, and he said, we think we can win with Eli Manning, and we're going to put pieces around Eli Manning, and I believed it. He told me a lot. Because what he put around him is a future quarterback who can't help Eli Manning, and they talk about 3 years. You think they're paying Eli Manning for 2 more years after this? You're out of your mind. Eli's going to go out. Here's the bottom line. They figure they can't lose. If Eli wins, we take the credit. If he doesn't, we put the kid in. But how's he going to win with this defense? Where's the pass rush? You're going to get it from Lawrence? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Lawrence plays all these positions at 340 pounds. You buy that one, too? Plays all these different positions at 340 pounds. Yeah, he's going to be a great edge rusher at 342 pounds. The best he could be would be another Snacks. And listen, you know, folks, I don't love Snacks. I liked him as a player. I understood him going. I understood the moves they made and why they did them. Some of them. But I thought they had a plan. And the worst thing you can have is an organization that doesn't have a plan. And this one takes 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and it has not stopped. And that's why they've become one of the laughing stocks in the NFL and have one of the worst records in the league in the last 6 years. Face it. The Giants have become football clowns. They're chronic losers now. And John Mara and Tish and the people over there are going to figure out a way to get out of the cycle because they're in the middle of it and they did nothing last night to make it better. Back after this.
Have you lost or losing your Jeep? The Popper
dental team of Midtown
Releases 2018
small periodontics, prosthodontics, endodontics, and cosmetic and implant dentistry. For affordable solutions and a complimentary consultation, visit IncredibleImplants.com. And make sure you check us out on Instagram at Popper Dental. Eat and taste the food you love. Smile freely with renewed confidence. Visit us at IncredibleImplants.com and on Instagram at Popper Dental. That's IncredibleImplants.com and on Instagram at Popper Dental.
Smart for two electric drive coupe for just $129 a month from Mercedes-Benz of Edison, a Ray Catena dealership. 36 months, $19.22 due with signing, taxes, title, MV fees extra. For details, 1-800-NEW-AUTO.
At the Orthopedic Hospital at LIJ Valley Stream, we're investing in our future so you can enjoy yours. We're building a premier destination for orthopedic care that's earned the highest certification possible. That's why Orland & Cohen, one of the biggest names in orthopedics, selected us as their hospital of choice. A future with less downtime and more quality time? That's innovation that cures and cares. Visit northwell.edu/LIJ Valley Stream. Look north.
April is the time to spring into a Lexus from Lexus of Englewood. Come get your new 019 Lexus US crossover SUV, only $329 a month. And now, during the L-Certified Spring Collection Sales Event, get 2.9% APR financing on all 2018 and 19 L-Certified sedans with complimentary maintenance. Experience amazing at Lexus of Englewood. 1-800-NEW-LEXUS or visit LexusofEnglewood.com. Excludes tax and title, 36-month lease. Visit LexusofEnglewood.com for details.
Welcome, ladies, to Becky's bridal shower. Let's get this party started by raising a glass to the beautiful bride-to-be. Oh, thank you all.
Well, this was really great. Now let's go play Quick Draw.
Nothing beats the draw of Quick Draw, the game where a $1 bet can win you up to $100,000. Find a place and bring your people. Because anything can happen in Jersey. Just 18 or older to buy lottery tickets. Please play responsibly. If you or someone knows a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLE. As your family grows, the White Plains Chrysler family will be there to grow with you. Go to WhitePlainsChrysler.com.
At the Orthopedic Hospital at LIJ Valley Stream, we're investing in our future so you can enjoy yours. We're building a premier destination for orthopedic care that's earned the highest certification possible. That's why Orland & Cohen, one of the biggest names in orthopedics, selected us as their hospital of choice. A future with less downtime and more quality time? That's innovation that cures and cares. Visit northwell.edu/LIJ Valley Stream. Look north.
Town Fair Tire is Connecticut's largest name brand discount tire dealer. We give you the guaranteed lowest prices on all name brand tires and honor all manufacturers' rebates. We even honor our competitors' rebates. 96 stores from Connecticut to New England and an inventory of over 600,000 tires. You'll always get the right tire at a guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
Need a hand packing your car?
Oh, hey, neighbor.
No, how are you?
Yeah, we're just taking an overnight trip to the casino.
Wow, that's a lot of packing just for a casino trip. Mary and I are heading out to Resorts World Casino in Queens.
Only thing we're packing is some coffee and cat. Hey, did you hear that, Jimmy? You can play your numbers in less time than it takes us to get out of the city.
Right. And you can go play your slots and we'll still be home for dinner.
Hey, let's make a night of it. We'll have dinner at the casino steakhouse. Perfect. It's settled. We're all going to Resorts World in Queens.
Thanks, Dan. We each saved us hours of driving.
With over 6,000 games, free nightly entertainment, and plenty of dining options. The only place to play is Resorts World Casino in Queens, next to JFK Airport, about an hour from Penn Station, and even closer from everywhere else. Resorts World Casino, New York City. NYC rules.
18 years of age or older to play New York lottery games. Please play responsibly.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment. Yep, 4% cash back there.
How about bowling with my friends?
Yeah, 4% cash back on that too. Nice. And that'll be a rewarding weekend. Because with the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% on dining and entertainment. So when you go out, you cash in. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Capital One Bank, USA NA.
As soon as we're back out in our yard, yep, we get company.
Dandelions, looking progress, and we sing grace. But Stubbs First Builder Triple Action takes care of them all. Now, with one bag, you can kill weeds, prevent crabgrass for up to 4 months, and feed for greener grass. Triple Action, so your lawn thrives, guaranteed. Only from Scott's. Weeds aren't welcome here. This is a Scott's yard. Pick up a bag of Scott's Triple Action today.
Why the Yim sisters chose Fios.
We're really close, but we don't live together anymore. We still do everything together, like stream shows on Netflix. We'll all sync up, so it's like we're all in the same room together. And since we're on Fios, there's pretty much no lag for any of us. Nobody misses anything unless they fall asleep.
When you choose Fios, you get the best internet on 100% fiber optic network. And now is your last chance to get a Netflix premium plan on us for a year when you switch. Even if you already have Netflix, we'll cover the cost. But hurry, this offer ends May 8th. So switch to Fios Gigabit connection with TV and phone for just $79.99 per month with a 2-year price guarantee and a 2-year agreement. And you'll get Fios TV 1 with 4K capability and an advanced voice remote. Go to getfios.com today. Taxes, equipment, early termination, and other fees and terms apply. Wired speeds up to 940/880 megs. Availability, wireless, and wireline speeds vary. See Verizon.com/shortspeed for more info. Auto pay and pay-per-view billing required. 4K viewing requires a 4K enabled device and 4K content. Full terms at getfios.com.
We're back. Daniel Jones will join us at 3:30, and this is not about Daniel Jones, folks. The other part of this that you can get into, and you can get into the draft value stuff, that's a whole different situation. This was about the big plan with Jones, the big picture. Then you can get into whether or not they could have gotten Jones at 17, okay? Or whether they could have traded down and gotten Jones, or whether Jones is going to be, Eli Manning or Dave Brown. I mean, listen, everyone's allowed to have their opinion. You've seen scouts who called them ordinary. You've seen scouts who called them exceptional. That's the way quarterbacks are. There's always somebody loves them, somebody hates them. We all know that. That will be decided down the road. Just like it is with every quarterback. We've all had quarterbacks make us look good. We've all had quarterbacks make us look bad. So that's not the point here. The point is, they stated, and Jim stated on this show, and stated in numerous cases, we are going to try to win next year. How can you try to win if you're going to, number one, spend all that money on quarterbacks, and number two, have one of your prime assets, one of your most biggest hits that you can play getting better, be on a player who can't get on the field, who cannot help you when you need massive amount of help. If I'm Eli Manning and I'm trying to win next year and they go and get a quarterback, I'm like, huh? Remember, John Elway went nuts when they drafted Tommy Maddox. He's like, wait a second, how does that help me? Same thing for Eli. I don't care if he's coached by Cutcliffe or went to the Manning camp. They all go to Manning camp. And Eli's so set on his future that he didn't want to do the show this year. And it's not because he's sick of me. That might be some people's thing, but it's not Eli's. So, because he can see the hand. I mean, if you can't see this handwriting on the wall, folks, hey, it's block letters. If they somehow miraculously, with a defense on paper that looks like it's awful, win, well, hey, everybody's happy. Everyone can, hold hands and dance to the playoffs. But when that doesn't happen, then it's about our future. Then it's about getting our player valuable experience. Then it's exactly what happened to Kurt Warner. And Eli knows it better than anybody. And obviously he's not very comfortable with it, nor would I be. How can you tell me you got yourself a situational player? And that's what Lawrence is, okay? He's a run plugger. He's a 340-pound run plugger. You want to tell me you can get a sack in college? That's fine. That's different than playing in the pros. Some of those teams that they play in college are awful. You can get a sack. Bro's a different deal. He's not on the field on 3rd and 15. What's he gonna do? He's a run stopper. He had one of those. Then he got another one. I'll tell you, if he had taken him over Wilkins, then I would have had a huge problem, because that Wilkins is really good. I'm not saying Lawrence is a bad player. He's not. None of those Clemson players are good players. Even the guy the Raiders took, which they reached for, nobody... See, that's just not knowing the value of the draft. They could have got that kid at 13. That kid's a player. He might even be better than a couple of the other guys by the time it's all over, said and done. That kid's a player. He's got a little bit of an iffy motor from what you hear, but he's a player. But why would you possibly take him at 4? That's like, you know, saying, oh, the sticker's 48 now, I'll give you 82. So I'm not even getting into that part, because that part you can debate in every draft. It's all the same nonsense. Oh, they could have got him here, they could have got him. Nobody knows. As you know, all you need is one person to just, you know, do something screwy, like the Raiders did it for. You got your Raiders surprise. The Raiders surprise was they took a guy who everyone had basically between 15 and 20, and they took him at 4. And then when they talked about him, oh, he was the greatest thing since sliced bread, which is what you always get. They're all the greatest things since sliced bread. They're all number 1 on the board. They're all the highest rated guy in the draft. They're all the highest rated guy on the board. So, oh, yeah, hey, in one ear, out the other. Once they drafted, no matter how you got them, it's where you got them. But when you draft a quarterback high in the first round, that's different. You own him, he owns you. They took a quarterback at 6. That means we have big plans for this player. We're committed financially, we're committed emotionally, we're committed in every possible way. We are in with this player. Otherwise, you don't ever touch a quarterback in the top 10. When you take a quarterback in the top 10, even nowadays in the top 15, but in the top 10, and you're taking 6, you take a quarterback in 6, he's a member of the family. He's in the family portrait, as the saying goes. He's yours. So good or bad, he's yours. Talking about him, when we come back, we'll have it right after this.
Those of us who do it right and do it yourself to tackle your church and sick. We do it right too, with trusted brands and everyday deals to make it happen. Now when you buy any John Deere E or G-Series lawn tractors, save $100 on a Lowe's gift card to get mail every day. And add Howard's and Foxy garden bed and save with a 12-pack of select annuals that are 2 for $16. Complete savings on spring projects. Do it right for less. Start with us. Howard's Valley, 5-1, Valley in Alaska and Hawaii. Well supplies, lots, select and verified locations. Student supplies, see store and details, what's on.
As a doctor who provided medical care to remote islands, Dr. Ben LeBreau has seen some things.
I received hurricanes, struck by lightning.
While most of us can't relate to confrontations with fire, we get that life and work come with a certain amount of risk. But your retirement shouldn't. Dr. Ben purchased an annuity to secure a guaranteed monthly retirement income for life. So his money won't stop working when he does. Find out if an annuity is right to protect your future at retireyourrisk.org.
So how good was Houston last night? The Rockets won the game, they won the series, and they won some more rest. That night did not got any better for Rockets than it did, because now they'll have their feet up on Friday night, while Golden State has to go another 48 rounds with the Clippers. Knowing Golden State, the most likely result Friday night is a double-digit win, but it'll mean 2 more playing flights and 48 more minutes on their tires. Meanwhile, the Rockets will be getting the ice, broken, and the Casper mattresses, so they can rest, recover, and heal up. And most of all, they want Golden State, and they believe they're the ones who can beat them. And when they do get them, they'll get a Warriors to Golden State, and the best part for Houston is they get to wait a little longer. I'm Jim Rowe.
Most of his life, 1 years. In all 3 theaters during World War II. As a merchant sailor, and for the last 70 years sailing on the Rockaway Point Yacht Club. But recently, John was so
The rain and a thunderstorm or two will continue right into this evening, then some showers showers late tonight. I'm John Belmont, News 85 350.
Good afternoon. I'm Susan Richard. A key pre-trial hearing in Manhattan today in the case against former movie mogul Harvey Weinstein, and it's being played out behind closed doors.
Weinstein was his usual silent self as he walked into criminal court surrounded by his legal team. Inside the courtroom, the judge overseeing the sexual assault and rape case ruled that today's hearing would not be open to the public and the press. At issue is whether other women who have accused Weinstein of sexual assault will be allowed to testify at his trial. Both the defense and prosecution argued against opening this hearing to the public over concerns that it would paint the jury pool. This issue bears a resemblance to the Bill Cosby sex assault trial in Pennsylvania, where a small number of other accusers were eventually allowed to testify. Steve Kastenbaum for 10 minutes.
Suffolk County health officials are flagging more locations now where a man with the measles might have infected folks. We'll have that coming up after traffic and out together. 331 from the Ram Trucks Traffic Center. Here's Russ Meyer.
And Susan, we have a closure in the Bronx to tell you about. This is for the funeral procession for fallen Marine and FDNY firefighter Christopher Sutton, and involves the northbound Bruckner block off the RFK Bridge up to Sheridan. We'll let you know when they start to let traffic through. Flooding an issue at two spots. The bus stop Parkway, South lanes from Queensville Boulevard to Rockaway Boulevard to slow it down. And BQE also doing the flooding in 2 lanes coming into Cadman Plaza. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels are tied up trying to get to the Bronxtown side of the Broadneck Bridge. There's an accident just before the bridge in the White Springs. Okay, that's tied up back to the LIE. Going into the Bronx at the Broadneck Bridge at Queensbound. Busy go. The RFK Bridge coming to Queens tied up across the span as well. New Jersey. A crash involving a jackknife tractor trailer on Route 80 East is the over in Parsippany by exit 43. Right hand is closed. Public sidewalks are suspended. The doors in effect. This report sponsored by Housing Jewish Community Chapel. Traffic is every 10 minutes in the ones breaking capital whenever they happen. And those final
We at Plaza Jewish Community Chapel would like to remind you that candle lighting is at 7:29 this evening. Good Shabbat and Shabbat Shalom.
Now the 1010 brings AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Dave Samuel.
Here's some light rainfall across the tri-state right now. We're sort of in between systems. The next problem is a cold front that is slicing across Pennsylvania. This will quickly move into our area, bringing heavy rain and thunderstorms. This will arrive after 6 o'clock and move it pretty quickly, but the rain will be intense while it's here. So in the city, my best guess will be between 7 and 9 p.m. The skies will open up and likely cause road flooding in many areas. This will move through. We'll have lighter rain continue through the evening, and then it should come to an end by midnight. Overnight, it will get windy out there. We'll have temperatures dropping to near 50, but a gusty 4 and mildly dry weather for your Saturday with a high of 59. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with a diminishing wind at low 46. Sunday, increase of clouds, probably some more wet weather during the afternoon. Rainfall looks light this go around. Low 58 for a high. Monday, partly sunny near 60. 53 right now. Rainfall in the central part and 50 tonight in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dave Samuel on New York's weather station.
Everyone, welcome back after here. Growing garden roses is really easy if you start with Oh So Easy Roses. Oh So Easy Roses from Proven Winners are super healthy and they come in a wide range of colors. Look for Proven Winners roses at your garden centers in the white containers.
Twins News Time at 3:33. A new measles warning in our area this time on Long Island, where officials are listing more locations now visited by a man with the illness. They say he was at the King Colony at 52 East Montauk Highway in Hampton Bays on April 20th between 2:30 and 5 p.m. Same day, he was also at the CVS at 111 South Main Street in Southampton between 45 and 7. Suffolk health officials say if you were at those locations during those times, please call them. The number is 631-854-0333. Again, 631-854-0333. Whether or concerns about the measles crisis here in New York, California is now dealing with its own outbreak.
Health authorities in Los Angeles County facing a potentially explosive measles outbreak are taking no chances. A quarantine order has been issued covering hundreds of students and staff at UCLA and Cal State Los Angeles. Dr. Barbara Ferrer is Los Angeles County Public Health Director.
One person in the contaminated case can expose thousands of people to measles.
The order affects anyone who may have been exposed to measles, who has either not been vaccinated or can't verify if they have immunity. I'm Mike Rossi.
Things News Time 3:35. Cops say they have nabbed the man wanted for attacking MTA workers in the Bronx. Attacking them with, well, I'll let Rumsfeld tell you.
these disgusting incidents happening actually within an hour of each other a couple Fridays ago, the morning of April 12th. First, a man tossed a cup of beer in the face of an MTA conductor on the 6th train and also punched her. Within that same hour, got on a bus at 138th Street in Grand Concourse, did the same thing to that female driver. He was taken into custody in Brooklyn yesterday on a charge of forcible touching, and as he was being interviewed, he was linked to these attacks in the Bronx. He was kept in custody all night and being questioned. No charges officially yet as we wait for his name as well and what those charges will be. I'll keep you updated here from the 40th Precinct. One shot, 10-10 in Mott Haven.
President Trump tells NRA members to vote Republican, saying his opponents want to take away their weapons.
We believe in the wisdom of our founders, and we believe in freedom and liberty and the right to keep and bear arms.
The president spoke at today's event in Indianapolis as longtime observers say the country is at its weakest moment in memory due to serious infighting, financial issues, and shifting public sentiment after a series of mass shootings. The president says the United States will be pulling out of the START Treaty, made the announcement at the NRA convention, saying we're taking our signature back. This treaty regulates international trade in conventional weapons, including small arms, battle tanks, combat aircraft, and warships. The NRA claims the treaty poses a threat to the Second Amendment. The U.S. signed it in 2013 but never ratified it. Critics, meantime, warn the move could spark an arms race. The White House says the president wants to strike a more grand plan with Russia and China. 52 degrees and raining, going down to 50 in Midtown. Wins News Time 3:36. A super weekend for superheroes. 1010 Wins Entertainment next.
Are you taking Cialis or Viagra? Marley Drug has generic for both for just $12 per tablet. That's a savings of $60 per dose. Marley Drug is an independent pharmacy delivering generic Cialis and Viagra to your door for $12 per tablet. Call Marley Drug at 800-852-7354. That's 800-852-7354. Again, 800-852-7354.
Here's Tony Romo for Skechers Slip-On Footwear. I like to make my life easy. I got a car that can drive itself, a robot that vacuums my whole house, and Skechers Slip-Ons. They don't have laces, so I can just slip them on and off with ease. And they take comfort to another level. They're flexible, breathable, and have Skechers air-cooled memory foam. Plus, they come in a wide variety of current styles. Skechers Slip-Ons. You'll never want to wear anything else. Just try Skechers Slip-Ons with air-cooled memory foam today. Skechers. Comfort included.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. And you'll have a separate fridge in the basement, where expert groceries are exiled forever. Remember that frozen lasagna? Of course you don't. It's been down there since 2008. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance. Piece of cake. Yeah, I know lasagna. It's very old. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Wins News Time 3:38 in 1010 Wins Entertainment. The opening night of Avengers Endgame pulls in a super box office bounty.
Thursday's receipts is calculated at a record $60 million for the latest Marvel superhero movie in the U.S. and Canada, roughly $305 million worldwide.
There are a lot of other planets in the universe. But unfortunately, we didn't have these.
This inspired the film, lasting 3 hours.
Everybody in this room is about that superhero life.
The box office boom blows out the previous record holders, Star Wars The Force Awakens, which pulled in $57 million domestically in 2015. Avengers Endgame is the final chapter of a story that stretches across some 22 Marvel films. Jim Reed, Los Angeles.
Wins News Time 3:30.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
I mean, Dr. Howard really got it together when he added that health coaching. Nothing like that in a supplement. It's like joining a team, you know. I don't think I've gone a day without them. I'd rather not, because I'd be more tired and draggy. That's just what I know my body needs.
As you know, the price of produce is always on the rise. Have the confidence to know you're getting the best possible price for organically grown whole fruits and vegetables with
every day, putting myself in a position to compete and to be the best quarterback I can be.
How about from Gelman? What did he tell you?
Similar message. I think it's an opportunity to learn, and I certainly look forward to it.
We're talking with Daniel Jones, the Giants' number 6 pick of the first round, the quarterback from Duke, who is now a big part of their future. Have you heard from Eli since you were drafted?
I spoke to him a little bit earlier today, and he just congratulated me, and said he was excited for me to be up there, and I really appreciated that. It was great to hear from him, and I can't wait to be his teammate and to get up there and start working.
All right, now give me a couple of things. Number one, what was your team growing up? What kind of fan were you? Where'd you grow up? What town?
I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, so I was a Panthers fan growing up.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
I like Steve Smith a lot.
So did I. I love Steve Smith. Love Steve Smith. Absolutely, yes.
I always admired his toughness, his
absolutely. One of my all-time favorites, I agree. Great player, tough as nails. I agree. Good choice. How familiar are you with New York?
I've been to New York a few times. We played the Pinstripe Bowl there my redshirt year, so that was 2015. I believe we were up there for a week, which was an awesome experience. And this past summer I did an internship in New York for just a couple weeks in between the end of school and our first summer session. So, living in the city and doing that was an awesome experience.
Did you like the city?
I did. I loved it. It's an awesome place. It's New York City, that's where everything happens. So, it's an exciting place.
What other sports did you guys always excel at? Other sports? What other sports were you good at? Were you a basketball player? Were you a baseball player?
Yeah, I played basketball and lacrosse growing up. I was.
Were you a good basketball player?
I probably was a pretty good basketball player. My brother's playing hoops now at Davidson, so he made just to take the crown in our one-on-one games, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen very long ago.
Oh, really? So, what year is he?
He's a sophomore right now.
All right, we're talking with Daniel Jones, and obviously, were you a quarterback your whole life? Did you quarterback all the way up? Were you a quarterback in high school?
I was, yes, sir. I was, top corner, week in middle school and through high school.
When did you start to think seriously about being an NFL quarterback? What age?
I think it was always my dream. As a young guy, I have the pictures in my first second grade journal. It's, the dream to play in the NFL. But I guess through high school, I realized it was possible, and I thought I really could physically, and I was always kind of in the back of my mind.
Did that go through your head? What went through your head last night when you got picked? What was the first thing that went through your head?
I think I was just thrilled, being there with my family in the green room and being able to look around at all the people who helped me, get to this point. I think I was just thrilled, just excited to be there, happy for everyone there that we got to kind of experience that together. But I guess my first reaction was just grateful for the opportunity, grateful to be in the position I'm in.
Well, listen, congratulations. Welcome to New York. And we wish you the best, but it should be fun. But again, congratulations. It's a great honor, a great thrill. So enjoy yourself, and thanks for a couple of minutes. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thanks,
my pleasure. Thank you. Daniel Jones, the quarterback out of Duke, with the number 6 pick in the draft. And obviously, a couple of things there. Did not talk to Eli before the draft. Talked to him just for a minute afterwards. Wouldn't call them overly close, because some people had said that, Eli had orchestrated this whole thing, which I thought was ridiculous. But obviously, he like everyone else goes to the Mountain camp, and Cutcliffe is obviously the go-between, because he has the relationship with the Mannings and he is his coach. So that's why he's known to be a quote-unquote quarterback guru. So that's the guy. So there's Daniel Jones, 6'5", 220. Moves fairly good. Well, I'd say moves pretty good. Accurate. Not a deadly arm from what everybody says. I watched him throw at the combine. He doesn't have a killer arm. But to me, there's 3 things I want a quarterback to be. I want him to be tough. I want to be smart, and I want to be accurate. If I can get those three, you can go play a game. I think that's the key. Tough, smart, and accurate. And I think those are the things you have to have. Mobile's good. It doesn't have to be there, but tough, smart, and accurate have to be there. Back after this.
My name is Janice Wilbur, and I am the owner of Janice Wilbur Law. I chose Tompkins Mayapack Bank because they care about me the way I care about my clients.
Tompkins Mayapack Bank, member FDIC equal housing lender. For a limited time, Verizon is offering our best price ever on the best network. Get a single line on Go Unlimited starting at $70 a month. That's streaming, sharing, and posting, all on America's most reliable network. Plus, you'll also get Apple Music on us with select unlimited plans, and up to $650 toward our best phones with select trading. Don't miss your chance to get a single line on Go Unlimited for just $70 a month. Now's the best time to get the best network. Verizon. Learn more at go.bzw.com/best time. Plus taxes and fees, auto pay and paper facility required. In times of congestion, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. For Apple Music, line must be on beyond or above unlimited plans. Up to $15.99.99 device payment purchase and port in required. Less up to $650. $650 is $200 prepaid card plus up to $450 trade-in/promo credit. Applied to account over 24 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR prepaid card mailed within 8 weeks.
Excuse me, sir. What seems to be the trouble?
I owe so much money on credit cards. I can't afford to get the new Kia I wanted.
You should go to Gateway Kia, where you can buy any new 2019 or 2020 Kia with no down payment and no payments till July. It's true. No down payment and no monthly payments till July. Leave your cash at home. Or buy any new 2019 or 2020 Kia and get up to $6,000 book value for your trade. Or double your down payment up to $6,000. Hurry to Gateway Kia's April sales event with no down payment and no payments till July on any new Kia. Or get up to $6,000 overbook for your trade. Or double your down payment up to $6,000. We'll see you at Gateway Kia, Route 1, North Brunswick. Shop online at gatewaykia.com.
Europe? Why not see all of it? Savor authentic flavors of Italy. Uncover ancient Greek ruins. With Norwegian Cruise Line, it's easy to discover a new European destination nearly every day. Plus, book now and enjoy free unlimited open bar, free or reduced airfare, and more. It's no wonder we've been named Europe's leading cruise line 11 years in a row. Visit ncl.com, call your travel professional, or call 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's free. Ships registry Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
Hey folks, warm weather's forecasted for this weekend, so time to work on your lawn. And whatever lawn care problem you might have, you can trust Pennington Grass Seed products to solve it. So run to your store for Pennington Grass Seed and jump into a beautiful lawn real soon.
Catch the fever. White Plains Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Spring Fever sales event is here. Whether you're currently in a lease or a finance, they'll show you how to trade up on your ride. At White Plains Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, your money is worth double during Jeep Freedom Days. You heard right. Whatever you give them, they'll double it. Give them 3, they'll double it to 6. Give them 6, they'll double it to 12, and just see what happens to the price. It's a new 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for just $79 a month. New 19 Jeep Cherokee Limited for just $69 a month. Plus, there's 0% financing available up to 60 months and savings up to $12,220. It's a new season. You need a new car. Jeep Freedom Days at White Plains Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Catch the fever now. Visit whiteplainschrysler.com for details.
Spring is here, but New Yorkers know that doesn't mean the weather will always cooperate. So stay out of the elements by parking close to your destination with Spot Hero. Simply type in your destination and reserve your spot. Use promo code CITY on the app to save $10 off your first park. Spot Hero. Park smarter.
Now you get a chance to get in. I'll take some calls. I will get back to your calls, but I am doing John Havlicek at 4 with Bob Ryan because I know some of you might not know a lot about him, but you know what? His passing last night at 79, if you're someone who knows the league like I do, or you remember the great Nick Celtic days, you understand how iconic a figure John Havlicek was. I mean, legendary, absolutely legendary in a bygone era. And his passing, now he has been suffering from dementia. One of the great athletes ever produced in this country. And I mean, really, one of the special. I would be remiss if I did not, in some way, remember the passing of the great John Havlicek. We'll get your giant calls in first. Dave and Secaucus starts us off. What's up, Dave?
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for letting me start off. So, this isn't, I saw your show last night, so I got to see the reaction to both, like how you did the reaction to both. I'm lukewarm on 17, but let's just get to number 6. This isn't about the player. I don't know anything about, I didn't watch the football, so I don't know anything about the player. This is about the plan. Where are they going from here? And we're going to disagree because you thought they should have given Eli Evans. We talked about this. I called about the $5 million.
I said they shouldn't have brought him back. If you want to draft a quarterback at 6, don't bring him back. Let the kid start. Let the kid start.
We talked about this a few calls. They obviously feel that way. They feel this is his last year, and they're going to walk the new kid in, and that's the difference.
Like you just heard the GM say he might play for 3 years.
I don't know what he keeps doing with that.
Because he keeps lying. That's why. Just like he lied that he was taking 2 defensive players.
Okay, fair enough. But it's about the plan, though. It's not about the plan. There's no plan about the player. There's nothing.
What's the plan?
The plan, obviously, is continue this competitive rebuild where they're just going to walk Eli out.
Competitive rebuild.
They're going to walk him out, Mike. They're not going to.
Listen. If you don't think if they're losing, they won't put the kid in for the last 5 or 6 games, then I don't know what you're thinking about. Eli,
that's not on the table.
Eli,
that's not on the table.
That's not on the table. You watch how that changes. You watch how much that changes. The only thing they will get out of this season once they can't get to the playoffs is that kid getting experience. And no one knows that more than Eli. That kid playing, I'm talking about playing experience.
If he gets 3 games, I wouldn't call it.
You don't get it. Okay. Yeah, he'll get 3 games. Yeah. Eli sees the hand, Mike, because he lived through it. He knows exactly what's coming. If they win, great. As soon as they're not winning, they'll go to the kid. It'd be stupid not to. What are they gaining? And Eli, 3 years? Oh, come on, please, huh? Don't insult our intelligence. Ryan in Park Ridge, what's up, Ryan?
Yeah, how you doing? Listen, I hate this pick with the Giants. I think Daniel Jones is a terrible pick.
Well, that's a different story. I mean, that's fine. I mean, you can have your opinion, but that's a different story than whether or not you like the philosophy or not.
Right, no. I totally agree. So when it comes to your idea of the Giants should have got rid of Eli, I come to disagree with you because
Eli or allowed him to get be the beneficiary of using your assets to try to win this year. Getting a player who's going to hold the clipboard, who you drafted number 6, instead of drafting maybe a premium pass rusher, is not trying to win. Is Daniel Jones going to get 10 sacks this year?
No.
So how is he going to help? How is Daniel Jones going to help Eli win this year?
Neither. Hey, Mike, some of these fans, they got to get a grip on me. Listen, the writing's on the wall here.
Get him, man. Eli lived it. Eli lived it.
Absolutely. As soon as the Giants are 2-3 or 3-2, you will not see Eli.
Well, maybe not 3. Maybe 5-5 or 4-5 or whatever. But whatever, but you get it. Listen, 7-8 games. Yeah. But as soon as it's not playoff time anymore, you will see them go right to the kid.
Right to the kid. Here's what I get. I don't get this gentleman. I mean, he's hot, he's cold, he's black, he's white, he's yellow, he's green. I mean, this guy, come on, talk to the fans. Like, we're not morons.
I've never heard anybody make the statements this guy makes. I mean, to come out today and talk about Eli playing for 3 more years and talk about the Hey, first I'm talking about the Kansas City plan, which is ridiculous. Then talking about the Green Bay plan, which was in a different era of football. And they took Aaron Rodgers in the bottom of the first round. And Brett Favre was livid. Bob and Summit, what's up, Bob?
Look, it's a historic time to be a Giants fan, all right? So
It's a what kind of time?
It is. It's a historic time.
Why is it historic?
Well, because you got things going on that have never gone on in the NFL. You tell me the last time that being committed to an aging quarterback, and then with the sixth pick, with holes everywhere, recommitted to the quarterback, and then took the replacement, and the GM comes down and says, this kid could sit. You explain to me how in any way, shape, or form this is a good business move.
It's not a plan. There's no, it makes no sense. Which is, Ben?
I'll tell you, and maybe you did. I didn't hear you the end. This also is clogging up the value of Saquon. Because now you're pushing...
I don't have any issue with Saquon. Saquon will be fine. He's not the problem. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. You know what? Saquon will be fine. He's going into year 2. He's not the issue. I don't buy that. The bottom line is, how can you tell me you have a plan? If your argument is, I love he's a franchise quarterback, I love they went and got their quarterback, then why didn't you jettison Eli and use that money to get young players in here? What good is Eli then? But the kid played from day one, which is the best way to learn in this league now. It's a different league. This is the best way to learn. And don't give me Mahomes. Mahomes was walking into a very intricate system that Andy wanted him to learn for a year, and that team had won 22 regular season games in the 2 years before Mahomes took off. 22 games. Giants have won 22 games in how many years? 4? Jerry and Rye, what's up, Jerry?
I like the pick because I think, first of all, you need 2 quarterbacks in the league with way the injuries go. And I also think...
Wait, you got a quarterback who's never been hurt a day in his life.
Mike, let me finish.
How can you bring up injuries when Eli Manning?
I'm just saying, in this league, with a guy that's almost 40 years old, you need 2 quarterbacks. That's my point about... Mike...
How many quarterbacks has never missed a game in his career?
Well, he missed one, unfortunately.
No, he did not miss a game. He got benched. He didn't miss a game for injury in his career. Injury is not what you bring up with Eli Manning. He never missed a game in his career. Now we're going to worry about him getting hurt? Tell me this. The general manager came out and said, our plan is to win this year. How is your plan to win this year behind Eli Manning is when you take your number 1 asset, the number 6 pick in the draft, and you bring in a player who can help you on the field this year. How does that make you better when you have holes everywhere? I will get back to the Giants, but first, when I come back at 4, I will talk about and remember something that's important to me and very significant, and that is the passing of John Havlicek. Live from the Town Fair Tire.
Nicotine, isn't it? The passenger of Arcadia. Over 250 years in GMP Brazil. Today, the day, Dow closing up about 75 points. Nasdaq up about
up about 15. Who are going to be playing forecast?
All news. All news to you. A radio.com station.
Victims of domestic abuse urge the Senate to renew the Violence Against Women Act with new provisions that restrict gun ownership. I'm Steve Calvin. Affordable housing is a big-time facelift.
President Trump's previous comments, the 2017 Trump school racial protest clashes of the people on both sides. During the presidential campaign, NFL draft continues because of two second markets, so place the Marlins, 56 degrees getting down to 47, a tornado watch for most of our area. I'm Ryan Shoulder, and in the top story we're following for you, local domestic violence survivors and advocates gather on the Penn campus and discuss really the importance of reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act in the U.S. Senate, where facing opposition among NRA-supported politicians. Now, this measure did pass the House, has been given a few seats on.
Christina Vega, an abuse survivor, is well aware of the key provision that would close the so-called boyfriend loophole to restrict gun ownership.
The 80% of the people who do get abused, they're not always a spouse. Most times they are boyfriends. So it was a boyfriend. He did have a gun, and that was primarily a lot of reasons why I never left, because I was always threatened, I'll kill your father, I'll kill your families.
She founded the group Love Shouldn't Hurt after a girlfriend was killed by her husband who had a gun. There are already bar spouses or former spouses convicted of abuse from buying guns, but the boyfriend loophole is an amendment that would expand existing gun prohibitions to include dating partners convicted of abuse or stalking charges. The National Rifle Association opposes the bill. The powerful gun lobby says it will score how politicians vote on the bill to measure future ratings and endorsements in elections. U.S. Democratic Senator Bob Casey.
To any male member of the NRA, what if this was your daughter? Do you want a boyfriend loophole? And then come back to the cell.
Steve Calvin, KYW News Radio.
And if we're dealing with the traffic and news, Brian Ramona.
Well, Michelle, all of a sudden New Jersey has become our big problem spot. So we have a jackknife tractor trailer on 295 northbound. Now it's literally on the flyover ramp that overlooks 42. So what happened is the tractor trailer jackknife is leaning on the guardrail, and some of the debris from the tractor trailer fell onto 42, and there are now two lanes blocked on 42 northbound heading into that area. So you're jammed on 295 north for about 3 miles approaching the scene, and now you're jammed on 42 north all the way back to Lower Landing Road, and of course that's affecting 55. That's an area we're going to need to avoid for a while. They're saying that they're going to need some trucks to get rid of some of this debris. It looks like it might be a mess for a while as we're traveling south. We see on the Mealy's Furniture Jam Cam, the styles you love for left. We are jammed approaching 168 on 295. That's due to another accident there, blocking at least one lane. Now, if you're trying to get into New Broad and Girard between 420 and 322, northbound heavy from the Delaware State line to Commodore Barry. Same story on the Blue Route south. Generally one line of traffic from St. David's down to 95, northbound from 95 up past Route 1. We're seeing delays on the Schuylkill. Also, again, about a 25-mile-an-hour ride from South Philadelphia out to Conshohocken, westbound, eastbound heavy at 202, and generally all the way down the line, which is jammed river to river both ways. Lincoln Drive outbound approaching Rittenhouse, a disabled vehicle jamming things up. 422 and 29 in the Turnpike, your normal delays. Next update in less than 10 minutes. I'm Ryan Ramona, the KORD 24-hour traffic center.
Ryan, thanks. Let's have a look at this 5-day forecast sponsored by Citizens Bank. CBS 3 meteorologist Steve Calvin. Much of the region is under a tornado watch through this block. That includes Philadelphia, Montgomery County, and points south, all of Delaware, and all of southern New Jersey in that tornado watch. That means conditions are favorable for these strong storms crossing the area to possibly produce an isolated tornado. Storms could also develop severe wind gusts and hail, also heavy rainfall as they march through the area during the time of the evening commute. Expect major slowdowns. Then we'll clear it out tonight, the low down to 47. Tomorrow's mostly sunny, cooler, and breezy at 63. A few more clouds Sunday with a chance of a shower, high 66. Sunny and nice Monday at 64. Then Tuesday, more clouds with scattered showers and a high of 75. Right now, 66 degrees, cloudy, getting down to 47 tonight. And do keep in mind that tornado watch does remain in effect for most of our area until 9 o'clock tonight.
Residents of several dozen affordable rental units in Camden getting major upgrades over the next few months. Here's KW's David Madden.
64 townhomes along Haddon Avenue and Cooper Plaza are getting new appliances, roofs and windows, climate control systems, and more. A $14 million project all told. Most of the units are already occupied by people like Mary Conception, who works at City Hall as a housekeeper.
I wouldn't have been able to raise my son the way I did without this help. Without the low income, without the help of the government, I wouldn't be able to do it.
It'll take 6 months to get these 2, 3, and 4 bedroom units redone. Residents relocated within the historic district while their homes are being revamped. There are a few vacancies. Now, to qualify, you have to earn no more than 60% of the average annual income in Camden. That's a sliding scale, but figure about $55,000 max for a family of 3. In Camden, David Madden, KYW News 4.
Defending his comments at the time, President Trump again arguing that in Charlotte Hill's 2017 racial protest clashes, there were good people on both sides. It could be a topic in the campaign next year because each challenger's bringing it up now.
Vice President Joe Biden's announcement video included a reference to President Trump saying there were good people on both sides as the Charlottesville white supremacist demonstrators clashed with counter-protesters The president added that in August 2017, he'd answered the question right after one counter-demonstrator was killed perfectly. Broadcasting TV, the White House.
Police say the drop of the flatbed truck plowed into stop traffic along the Colorado Highway now facing multiple counts of vehicular homicide. Runaway semi hit several cars and trucks yesterday on I-70 in Lakewood. That's just outside of Denver. The collision occurred at a fiery 28-vehicle crash.
The 4 victims in this were all single occupants. There was no more than one in each car.
Todd Countryman with the Lakewood Police Department, he says numerous others were injured in the crash, including the truck driver. He says there's no evidence that drugs or alcohol were the cause. Just a quick weather note, we're just reminding you that most of our entire area is under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. At 4:08,
A Sports Report is sponsored by Scepter, registering your Septic card offers protection and peace of mind, so you never have to worry if your card is ever lost. Learn more at iSepticPhilly.com/B. 76ers practiced this afternoon and now heading to Toronto. Game 1 of their conference semifinal series with the Raptors is tomorrow night. KW's John Johnson has more on the Sixers from Camden.
Well, as the 76ers make final preparations for their semifinals matchup against the Raptors, the question all Sixers fans have is what will head coach Brett Brown do with his already short bench if Mike Scott is unable to play?
In the event that he was not available, I would bring Zaire into the mix and to be able to have him on the roster in the event that Mike is not available.
Sixers-Raptors game 1 Saturday night, 7:30. Reporting from Sixers headquarters in Camden, John Johnson, KWW News Radio.
NFL draft continues tonight. Rounds 2 and 3 down in Nashville. Eagles with 2 picks in the second round, the 53rd and 57th overall selections. Right now they have no picks in the third round. Last night in the first round, the Eagles traded up and selected Washington State offensive tackle Andre Dillard. Phillies and the Marlins battle again tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Bills have dropped 6 of their last 8, including the first game in this 4-game series. Phils lost to Miami last night 3-1 in 10 innings. On the mound tonight for the Phillies, right-hander Jared Eichel, 0-1, 3.60 ERA. Miami captors with right-hander Jose Reño, 1-3, 5.74 ERA. Phillies lineup for tonight sounds like this. Andrew McCutchen leading off. He's in center field tonight. Then it's JT Realmuto behind the plate batting second, followed by Bryce Harper in right field, Rhys Hoskins at first, Nick Williams is starting left field. Then it's Maikel Franco at third base, Cesar Hernandez at second, Sean Rodriguez at shortstop, and Ike Bob bats ninth. Tonight's game scheduled to start at 7:05, weather permitting, Michelle.
Thanks so much. It's 4:09.
Spring is here, summer's coming, and KYW News Radio wants you to be green conscious about how much cash is in your wallet. KYW News Radio's Go Green Contest. Listen at 8:15 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. and 4:15 p.m. each weekday, starting this Monday, for a chance to win $1,000 in this national contest.
Your new spacious kitchen. Not ready. The
the Citizens Bank home equity line of credit. Ready. With rates as low as 4.75% APR for new home equity line of credit customers, a HELOC is ready when you are to help make your renovation possible. Or you could take that much-needed sabbatical from work to balance life at home. Whether you're investing in your property, stumble upon unexpected expenses, or just want to have money set aside, a HELOC can help give you the funds you need when you need them. It's time to reach the big and small goals you've been eager to accomplish. Make your mission possible with Citizens Bank. Go online or visit your nearest Citizens Bank to learn more. Rates are variable, applicable only to new home equity line of credit customers. Call 877-877-5378 for details about new credit costs and terms. Equal housing lender. Citizens Bank is a brand name of Citizens Bank N.A.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Good, orthopedic surgeon at Bryn Mawr Hospital, part of Mainline Health. Exercise is important at any age for a healthy body and mind, and it helps slow the aging process. Aerobic activity is important for heart health and weight management. Low-impact exercises like the stationary bike or swimming are gentle on the joints. It's important to remain active throughout the day. If you are experiencing pain after exercise, talk to your physician. Visit mainlinehealth.org/orthopedics to find a specialist near you.
Springtime savings are big-time savings at Faulkner Nissan in Jenkintown. Over 700 new Nissans. Take your choice of a new 2019 or 2019 Rogue Sport. Lease for just $229 a month with zero do-it sign-in. Just sign and drive. Or choose a new 2019 Sentra SV. Just $189 a month with zero do-it sign-in. All sign and drive leases are credits with 36 months with 12,000 miles per year. And there's no security deposit. Big-time springtime savings at Faulkner Nissan in Jenkintown. Just a half-mile south of Abington Hospital on Route 611 and at FaulknerNissan.com.
Hi, this is Vic Letizzi from Faulkner Nissan in Jenkintown. For a friendly, hassle-free experience, it's Faulkner Nissan of Jenkintown, to be sure.
Tax title license extra. Road Sport KW 32291. Sale price $24,729. Includes $24.50 manufacturer rebate. Ultima S KC 140062. Sale price $23,666. Includes $27.25 manufacturer rebate. Sentra KY 212525. Sale price $20.27. Includes $21.25 manufacturer rebate. Offers end 4/30/19.
The road game takeover with Sports Radio 94 WIP and fans of Philly.
Sunday Night Football, September 15th.
Join us as we fly to Atlanta, where they barely even care about sports. It includes airfare, 3 nights in a 4-star hotel close to the stadium, all-inclusive pregame tailgate, and your ticket to the game. Join hundreds of the best fans in America on a trip with fans of Philly. Reserve your spot before they sell out at 94WIP.com/road-trip.
Hester Chevrolet on the Boulevard sponsors KYW Traffic on the Now.
And Brian's Report's also sponsored by Keenan Motors, Mercedes-Benz.
Now the big problem in New Jersey now, 295 northbound is shut down at Route 42. Again, if you are traveling north on 295, the ramp to Route 42 is closed because of a jackknife tractor trailer, and that is affecting 42 because the tractor trailer lost some of its load onto 42 below, so you're jammed on 42 north from just after 168 up to that point, and then heavy on 55 for about a mile and a half. Now 295 south is crawling from 30 down to 168. Another crash is in the works there. On 76 east, you're slow from the Walt Whitman down to the 42 merge. In fact, you're jammed the Walt Whitman all the way into New Jersey. Now, in Philadelphia, big delays on all the major roads. The weather not helping. You're looking at a 25-mile-an-hour trip on 95 South Bridge to Girard, 420 to 322. Northbound from the Delaware State Line to the Commodore Barry. Also crawling about a 70-minute ride from South Philadelphia out to King of Prussia on the westbound Schuylkill, about 60 in the eastbound direction. We're jammed on the Blue Route south from St. David's to Route 1. And also Lincoln Drive outbound, still approaching Rittenhouse, disabled vehicle block in the right lane. You may have equity in your leased Mercedes. Keenan Motors, a Mercedes-Benz dealer in Doylestown, needs quality pre-owned Mercedes to keep up with strong demand. Call Danny at 215-348-0800 to learn how returning your leased Mercedes to Keenan can return cash to you. I'm Brian Rullo in the K102 24-hour traffic center.
Brian, thanks. Let's get a look at the forecast. CBS 3's Kate Bilo.
A tornado watch is in effect for much of southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and Delaware through 9 o'clock tonight as a line of strong storms marches toward the area. In addition to the threat for an isolated tornado, these storms could produce damaging severe wind gusts, as well as the threat for large hail and heavy rain. The overnight low tonight, 47, will clear out after about 9 o'clock. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, cooler and breezy at 63. More clouds Sunday with a chance for a shower, high 66. Then Monday looks good with sunshine, high 64.
66 and cloudy at the broadcast center right now. We'll get down to 47 tonight. Quick check of Wall Street, sponsored by Crash Proof Retirement. Wall Street rewards without the Wall Street risk. Visit CrashProofRetirement.com. The Dow closed up 81.25 points. Nasdaq closed up 27. S&P 500 closed up 13. Get all news and all that matters to you anytime on the radio.com app. Just download it now to hear us on demand. Good afternoon, join Michelle Durham, Greg Orlandini at the editor's desk. 3 things to know at 4:15, sponsored by Oliver Heating and Cooling. Domestic violence survivors and advocates gathered at the Penn campus today to highlight the importance of reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act of the U.S. Senate. The measure is facing NRA opposition. It did pass the House. A $14 million project underway in Canada to revamp a string of rental townhomes in a historic part of that city, and officials say the lower-income residents will stay in place. Lawyers for the Philadelphia nurse charged in the death of a former National Security Advisor's father want evidence critical to the prosecution cost. From the Criminal Justice Center, WW's Kristen Johansson.
Kristen Gainey's defense team wants to suppress surveillance video from inside a Roxborough nursing home where H.R. McMaster Sr. died because they say there are hundreds of holes in the tape and it doesn't show the full story. But prosecutors argue it's because the cameras in question are motion censored. Gainey is charged with involuntary manslaughter and reckless endangerment in the death of 84-year-old McMaster Sr., father to the former National Security Advisor under President Trump, H.R. McMaster Jr. The 31-year-old nurse was on duty and in charge of McMaster Sr. at Cathedral Village Nursing Home days after he fell. The state attorney general filed charges against Gainey in May of 2018, saying she failed to administer critical head checks, as he says was part of her job. A hearing to determine whether the video will be admitted is scheduled for May. Gainey's trial is set for October, and if convicted, she could face up to 20 years in prison. Kristen Johansson, KYW News Radio.
A setback with the Trump administration as it tries to put new restrictions on abortion.
A federal judge in Washington state says not so fast. A nationwide preliminary injunction has been imposed on new Trump administration rules that would make it more difficult for women to get abortions. The so-called Title X gag rule would have prevented family planning clinics, which get some federal dollars, offering abortion services or abortion referrals. The rules were to have taken effect a week from today. Gary Nunn, CBS News.
The recall involving potentially deadly infant sleeper. Kids 2 is recalling nearly 700,000 rocking sleepers linked to at least 5 infant deaths since 2012. The move comes just 2 weeks after Fisher-Price recalled its similar rock and play sleepers, in which more than 30 babies died over a decade. The deaths in both sleepers occurred after infants rolled over from their backs to their stomachs or sides while unrestrained. The Kids 2 sleepers sold for between $40 and $80 at Walmart, Target, and other retailers nationwide, and consumers should stop using them right away. I'm Ann Cates. A Massachusetts judge and a former court officer under indictment for allegedly showing a twice deported undocumented defendant the back door at a Newton courthouse. That was to help him elude an immigration agent, it's alleged.
Judge Shelley Joseph and Wesley McGregor, a former court officer, are accused of conspiring with a defense attorney last year to help a twice deported undocumented immigrant evade an ICE agent. U.S. Attorney Andrew Lelling.
The allegations in today's indictment involve the intentional interference with federal officers in the course of their duties. That is a crime.
Thomas Hoops is Judge Joseph's defense attorney.
This prosecution is absolutely political. Shelley Joseph is absolutely innocent.
Lelling denied any connection to the debate over immigration policy.
The laws have to apply equally, even if you're a state court judge.
I'm Steve Kastenbaum.
Long black limos, a staple of public appearances by world leaders, but the summit in Vladivostok between the leaders of North Korea and Russia sparked some car questions.
Diplomacy aside, what about Kim Jong-un's armored rides? No one seems to know where he obtained those black Maybach stretch limousines used in the Vladivostok meeting with Russian President Putin and earlier meetings with President Trump. Daimler, the German carmaker which makes the cars, says it has no idea where Kim got them, affirming it has no business dealings with North Korea. The company says it follows a comprehensive export process, that sales of vehicles by third parties are beyond its control. Gary Nunn, CBS News.
The Justice Department investigating Ford's U.S. emissions certification process.
The Justice Department wants to know whether Ford overstated fuel economy and understated emissions. Ford was already investigating internally. The government has been closely watching emission testing.
They got a lot of criticism for not catching Volkswagen sooner. They will be taking a very close look at this.
Navigant research analyst Sam Abul-Samad says other car makers have had similar issues. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Detroit.
It's 4:20.
Injury claims are way down for SEPTA. We'll tell you why. I'm Mike DiNardo.
Coming up the next 5 minutes on KWB News Radio.
See Joe Conklin's comedy show at the Barn at Tollman Joe's on Front Oregon and South Philly, Saturday, May 4th, and at Our Lady of Mount Carmel School in Doylestown, Saturday, May 11th.
Joe Conklin is hysterical.
I love this show.
Joe Conklin's awesome news from that's Joe Conklin at the Barn at Tollman Joe's, Front Oregon and South Philly, Saturday, May 4th, and Our Lady of Mount Carmel School in Doylestown, Saturday, May 11th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
I'm not a big talker. I am a big doer. Sometimes the only way to solve the problem is to get on the phone where you are. The people I like talking to, Granger. Knowledgeable product experts, ready with the answers to my toughest questions. Calling Granger is the one conversation out of my head. From machining and motor parts to valves and vacuum pumps. When it comes to solving my problems, Granger's got my back. Call, click Granger.com, or stop by to see for yourself. Granger. For the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Jay Farmer, CEO of Mickey Mouse. 30% of Americans who are planning home improvements of $5,000 or more will pay for those renovations with a high-interest credit card. That may not be a great idea. Mickey Mouse 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.5%. APR 4.78%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rate subject to change. Pay 2% fee received as discounted rate. Offer cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
At 4:22, Keenan Motors Mercedes-Benz brings us traffic and weather on the 2.
The big problem in New Jersey, 295 northbound is shut down on the way up to 42 northbound and from the continue on 295 north. All due to a jackknife tractor trailer is also affecting 42 northbound because some of that debris fell off the overpass onto the roadway below, so they're getting some equipment down to get that out of the way. They're jammed on 42 northbound from just after 168 up to the scene. 55 north jam there as well. 295 south is crawling too from Haddonfield Berlin Road down to 168 where they moved it out to off to the side. We're coming over the bridges. The Walt Whitman jammed all the way across eastbound into New Jersey, then 76 down to the 42 merge. On the 95, we're heading from right around Woodhaven, actually, down to Girard. Flow again from 420 down to 322. Northbound Delaware State Line, bound O'Berry, heading around Whitman Bridge, and again around Girard. Also, the Expressway jammed eastbound across. The Schuylkill delays both ways. It's over an hour ride between Center City and King of Prussia. Blueberry South crawls from just after St. David's to 95, northbound heading at 95 as well. And Trevo Street Road westbound, Richmond Trevo's Road. Watch for an accident according to a Waze user, causing a big problem in that area. And Glenside, we still have Limekiln Pike closed to Church Road for an accident from several hours ago. Now, transit, no major delays. Now, you may have equity in your lease Mercedes. Kingdom Motors, your Mercedes-Benz dealer in Doylestown, needs quality pre-owned Mercedes to keep up with strong demand. Call Danny at 215-348-0800 to learn how returning your leased Mercedes to Keenan can return cash to you. I'm Brian Fernando, the K1 24-hour traffic session.
Let's get a look at the forecast. Tornado watch in effect for most of our area until 9 o'clock tonight. We'll see showers locally gust with thunderstorms roll through. Then it will become cloudy and windy with a low of 49. Saturday sunny, cooler, breezy and high of 64. And Sunday partly cloudy with a spotty shower, 67 the high. And that's our current temperature. Juliana now 68 in Winona, 66 at the Acme Field. Sponsored by Acme, your favorite local supermarket. Technology making it harder to scam. SEPTA is part of these nights in our home.
The old joke used to be that people would hop onto a SEPTA bus involved in a fender bender so that they could cash in on a fake personal injury claim. But not so much anymore, says SEPTA's General Counsel Gino Benedetti.
The reason is we now have an objective, unbiased witness in nearly every single case that gets brought against us.
That witness is one of the 23,000 video cameras SEPTA has installed on its buses, trains, and platforms.
Benedetti says a decade ago, when the cameras were first being installed, SEPTA paid out $45 million for injury claims. During the current fiscal year, that figure is under $20 million, less than half. Benedetti says SEPTA was averaging 40,000 injury lawsuits a year. Now he says that figure is less than 1,000.
Not bashful of us sharing the video. So whether it be an individual claimant or claimant's lawyer, we routinely send out the video as early as we can to give them that information so they can make a decision on whether or not to pursue the case.
Benedetti says SEPTA is budgeting less each year for claims. He says the transit agency will pay a claim if it's legitimately at fault, but if someone's trying to work a scam, he says, SEPTA will defend itself in court and possibly refer the case to the DA for criminal charges. Mike DiNardo, KYW News Radio.
At 4:25, time for Money News on KYW at Bloomberg's Jeff Bellinger.
Stocks advanced in Friday trading. The key indexes had gains ranging from 0.3% to 0.5%. The Dow Jones Industrials rose 81 points. The Nasdaq closed 28 points higher. The S&P 500 added 14. The Nasdaq and S&P closed at all-time highs. The Commerce Department reported the gross domestic product expanded at a stronger than expected annual rate, 3.2% in the first quarter, but consumer spending was down. Megan Green at Manulife Asset Management says some of the gains came from companies adding to their inventories to get ahead of possible new tariffs.
As these companies are stockpiling now, over the rest of this year, they're going to have to destock, and that will be a drag on growth.
Shares of Amazon and Ford closed higher after the companies posted stronger than expected quarterly results. ExxonMobil and Intel disappointed investors. Their shares lost ground. Crude oil futures fell to $63.30 a barrel. With Money News from Bloomberg on KYW, I'm Jeff Bellinger.
Local survivors of domestic violence and advocates gathered on Penn's campus today to highlight the importance of reauthorizing a bill in the U.S. Senate. It did pass the House. One more in 3 minutes.
I'm Yuki Washington today at 5 on CBS 3. Getting ready for round 2, the Sixers are expected to make an announcement about their star center, Joel Embiid. Then, burning bridges, a troubled trend employers say is happening more with employees. Why an expert says it's on the rise. And we've all heard of therapy dogs, but what about therapy robot dogs? Meet the new high-tech pup, Jenny, and how she's helping improve one man's life. Join us today at 5 on CBS 3.
Attention to share offers on select models for the price. Wilmington Cadillac XTS British Northern Husky for 19% for savings. Months to meet monthly increments of 5.9% for 49 contact. Call 1-800-CURVET for full details.
It's the final days at FC Burbank to spring into a 2018 Cadillac XTS. Just $289 per month. Over 70 Cadillac XTSs reduced. 2018 Cadillac XTS plus 50,009. You pay $24,900. That's half price for $289 per month financing. Not a lease. 3.19% financing. Cadillac XTS just $24,900. $289 per month financing. Plus over 75 Cadillacs and Mercedes-Benz SUVs reduced. 2015 Cadillac SRX $19,990. 2016 Mercedes GLA 250 W4 SUV $24,990. 2017 XT5 SUV $27,990. The final days. 70 Cadillac XTSs reduced 3.19% for 72 months at FC Burbank.
Come join us. As soon as we're back out in our yard, we get company.
Cable lines, working progress, and weak seeing grass. But Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action takes care of them all. Now, with one bag, you can kill weeds, prevent crabgrass for up to 4 months, and feed for greener grass. Triple Action, so your lawn thrives, guaranteed. Only from Scott's. Weeds aren't welcome here. This is a Scott's yard. Pick up a bag of Scott's Triple Action today.
Welcome to Sherwin-Williams. Hi there. I heard paints are 30% off. Yep, and stains too. Right here. Only at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Right now? Well, April 25th through 29th. Really? I'm a big hugger. It's cool. Williams April 25th through 29th and save 30% on paints and stains with sale prices starting at $26.94. Only at your local Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey, it's Jill Schlesinger. You hear me every day on KYW News Radio. Well, come see me in Center City on May 22nd for a no-nonsense chat about retirement, college financing, and more. I call it the dumb things smart people do with their money. Grab a ticket now at KYW. KYWNewsRadio.com/Jill. It might be the smartest investment you make all year.
Jill on Money Live, May 22nd at Lowe's, Philadelphia. Tickets at KYWNewsRadio.com/Jill.
And let's take a look at the forecast. Just a reminder, a tornado watch is in effect for most of our area until 9 o'clock tonight. You can definitely expect some of those showers that we saw earlier today. That possibility of those gusty storms coming through once again, and some thunderstorms rolled in the mix. Then it will give way to cloudy, windy conditions overnight, low of 49 degrees. So stay with us, keeping an eye. It's 4:30. From the Penn Medicine Studios, come with the Amino Revolution. Learn more at AminoRevolution.org.
This is KYW's Radio 1060.
Radio.com station.
Domestic violence survivors urge the Senate to close the boyfriend loophole in the Violence Against Women Act. I'm Steve Powell. Affordable housing gets a big-time facelift.
And in measles outbreak in the U.S., government's urging parents to vaccinate their children, differing from past protocols over the years. NFL draft continues. Eagles have 2 second-round picks. Bills face the Marlins. Cloudy skies, 68 degrees, getting down to 47. Tornado watch in effect for most of our area. Good afternoon to you. I'm Miss Shelder. The top story we're following for you at 4:31. Local domestic violence survivors and advocates, including U.S. Senator Bob Casey and Women Against Abuse, are urging the Senate to renew the Violence Against Women Act. Now, as Point of View Steve Tower reports, the NRA opposes an amendment to close the so-called boyfriend loophole, restrict gun ownership.
Domestic abuse survivor Christina Vega, who lived in fear from her boyfriend in the Northeast, founded the group Love Shouldn't Hurt after a girlfriend was killed by her husband who had a gun.
We both went to the exact same issue. That's how he kept me in the home, with fear, with the gun.
So for the victims, whether it's the husband or the girlfriend, the former boyfriend.
Yes, everyone should kind of fall under the same aspect, not just whether you're my spouse or not.
Her law already bars spouses or former spouses convicted of abuse from buying guns. The so-called boyfriend loophole would include dating partners convicted of abuse or stalking charges. U.S. Democratic Senator Bob Casey welcomes a debate with the gun lobby.
Let's put it before the nation and use the test what measure of protection would you want for your daughter who has a boyfriend?
Among the points the National Rifle Association raised, the new provisions are too low a threshold to deny someone a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. The NRA views it as a key vote that will determine whether it will back a member of Congress for re-election. Steve Tower, KYW News Radio.
And aboard here on Tuesday, the traffic and weather on the tube, sponsored by Window Nation. 50% off all styles and windows. Visit windownation.com.
Michelle, what a mess in New Jersey. 295 northbound is crawling now from 130 up to the 42 merge, all because of a jackknife traffic curve that has all lanes blocked on the ramp to continue on 295 northbound. And it's affecting 42 northbound below it because some of the debris from this traffic trailer went over the side and down onto the roadway below. So the right lane is blocked on 42 northbound at that point, and that means 42 is jamming northbound from Lower Landing Road up to that scene. We're also seeing a 55 jammed almost all the way back to about halfway to Delsey Drive. So again, a tough day in New Jersey. 295 with pretty typical delays heading down towards 42, but we are seeing a little more because of an accident near Route 30. Heading over the bridges, Walt Whitman on the Mealy's Furniture Jam Cam, the Stousie left for less, crawling all the way across eastbound. The westbound on the Ben Franklin crawling onto the Vine Street Expressway. Report of a problem. Well, there is a problem. At 8th and Vine at the bottom of the bend, there was a SEPTA bus accident involving a couple of vehicles at 8th and Vine, and that's messing up getting onto the westbound Vine Expressway. Eastbound is crawling all the way across. Now, plenty of delays on 95 from Woodhaven down to Girard, also southbound from the airport to 322, northbound Delaware State Line to Commodore Barry, and then heavy again around Penn's Landing up to Girard. Now, the Schuylkill, both ways an hour ride from King of Prussia all the way down into Center City. It's about 45 minutes on the Blue Route south for St. David's to 95. Fast Transit undergoes the schedule. Next update in less than 10 minutes. I'm Brian Malone with the KROU 24-hour traffic center.
Brian Simmons. Let's get a look at the forecast sponsored by Lansdale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat with CBS 3 meteorologist Kate Byland.
Much of the region is under a tornado watch through this evening through 9 o'clock. That includes Philadelphia, Montgomery County, and points south, all of Delaware, and all of southern New Jersey in that tornado watch. That means conditions are favorable for these strong storms crossing the area to possibly produce an isolated tornado. Storms could also develop severe wind gusts and hail, also heavy rainfall as they march through the area during the evening. Breezy at 60. Few more clouds Sunday with a chance of a shower, high 66. Sunny and nice Monday at 64. Then Tuesday, more clouds with scattered showers at a high of 75.
Right now, 68 degrees, mostly cloudy, getting down to 47 tonight. Tornado watch for most of our area in effect until 9. Work is underway to revamp a string of rental townhomes in a historic part of Camden. It's a $14 million project, and it's designed to keep lower-income residents in place and be complete within 6 months, as we hear from KYW's David Moore.
The Cooper Closet townhomes are within walking distance of Camden's growing Edge and Meds district. Most of the 64 units along Hatton Avenue are already rented. Most tenants have been moved in those units as improvements are made. They include new roofs, windows, climate control systems, and appliances. The Michaels organization is doing the work armed with loans and grants to keep the units affordable. Vice President Nick Cangelosi says about 15 will be available.
The residents have to run 60% or more of area median income to qualify, and there'll be a mixture of 2 and 3 bedroom townhomes.
For a family of 3, the income limits top out at about $55,000 a year. Applications will be taken through the Camden Housing Authority. In Camden, David Beckman, KYW News for
Amid a resurgence of measles cases in the U.S., President Trump urging parents to have their children vaccinated.
Today, the president says it simply. The vaccinations are so important. This is really going around now. They have to get their shots. But he didn't see the matter so clearly in the past. For years on Twitter and at a 2015 debate, Donald Trump openly propagated the notion of a link between vaccinations and autism.
I am totally in favor of vaccines, but I want smaller doses over a longer period of time.
In 2012, Mr. Trump tweeted that the Obama administration should do something about doctor-inflicted autism. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
Police in Lakewood, Colorado, are made an arrest in connection with a massive crash that killed 4 people along the Colorado Highway. Investigators say a flatbed truck was carrying a load of lumber yesterday when it slammed into stop traffic on I-70. It's just outside of Denver. That collision set off a fiery and deadly chain reaction crash.
Right now, we're at 28 vehicles involved. That number is significantly higher than what we had last night.
Ty Countryman with the Lakewood Police Department says the truck driver is being held on multiple counts of vehicular homicide. And Countryman says there was no indication that drugs or alcohol were a factor in the crash. Investigators are also looking at whether the truck's brakes were working. And just a reminder for you that most of our area is under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. We're expecting some showers and locally gusty thunderstorms to roll through. It's 4:38. Let's get a look at KYW Sports with Leon.
Today's sports report is sponsored by Septa. Registering your Septa Key card offers protection and peace of mind, so you never have to worry if your card is ever lost. Learn more at iseptaphilly.com/key. NFL draft continues tonight with rounds 2 and 3. Eagles with 2 second-round picks. No selections right now in the 3rd round. After a trade with Baltimore, the Eagles used their 1st-round pick last night on an offensive lineman, selecting Washington State tackle Andre Dillard with the 22nd overall selection. Today, Dillard talked about how he developed his technique.
I used to watch a lot of Jason Peters and Tyron Smith with the Cowboys, Trent Williams, the Redskins, just some good tackle. David Bakhtiari, I just like to watch some of those, high-end tackles and kind of watch what they do.
Round 2 of the NFL draft gets underway tonight at 7. Sixers visit the Toronto Raptors tomorrow night. Game 1 of their Eastern Conference semifinal playoff series. More on the Sixers from KYW's John Johnson.
Just before hopping the plane to Toronto, the 76ers fielded a few questions before their semifinals matchup against the Raptors. In their 3 losses to Toronto this season, Ben Simmons turned the ball over a total of 24 times. But as head coach Brett Brown points out, he isn't the same player.
He definitely has not been the same. You see an advancement in the serious side of NBA playoffs. You see a preparation that has increased. You see a confidence level and a voice that that is slowly emerging.
Reporting from Sixers headquarters in Camden, John Johnson, KYW News Radio.
Phillies battle the Marlins again tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Phil's looking to bounce back after dropping the opener in this 4-game series last night in 10 innings, 3-1. Jarrett Ike off the start on the mound for the Phils. Marlins counter with righty Jose Urena. He is 1-3, 5.74 ERA. Tonight's game gets underway at 7:05. Michelle.
Thanks, Matt. 4:39.
What you need to know.
The Mueller report is out.
KYW News Radio is your eyes and ears.
Flipping through the pages and so much to see.
Insight and reaction as it happens.
Lingering question.
The responsibility now falls to Congress. This should never happen to another president.
KYW News Radio. You've never needed us more.
It's the spring sales event at Dodge Performance Days going on right now at Lansdale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat in Montgomeryville on Route 309, where you get the best deal, bottom line. Check out the new 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, $289 a month, 36 months, $34.99 due signing. Or check out the new 2019 Dodge Durango SXT wheel drive with a $2,000 cash allowance, tax title license extra. Offers end April 30th. Lansdale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on Route 309. Where you get the best deal, bottom line. Or go to iJeep.com. 77 cars for kids.
Accepting boats, motorcycles, RVs, and real estate donations.
Hey, business owners, does your Wi-Fi ever slow down because of your customers? Do downloads lag when they stream videos? Ever tried to finish payroll while clients hog up your bandwidth? Then make the switch to Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast. And we go beyond fast when you add Wi-Fi Pro, which lets you allocate how much bandwidth you give to customers and your business. So while customers are busy streaming, emailing, and chatting, your employees can still be productive. Wi-Fi Pro on the nation's largest gig speed network. A great experience for your customers and your business. Switch to Comcast Business now for an amazing deal. Right now, get started with 75 megabit internet for $59.95 per month for 2 years when you add one voice mobility line. Wi-Fi Pro available for an additional charge. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer in 6219. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra, subject to change.
It's hot out here. Hope our house is comfortable when we get home.
I'll check on the app from our carrier system.
I'm so glad we could turn to the experts at nopaycarrier.com.
It's great being able to check temperature and humidity in the house from anywhere. Or I could just ask Alexa.
Who's Alexa?
Help for control with your phone, tablet, or Alexa with Carrier. With simple and affordable payments with financing offers up to 72 months, subject to credit approval. To find a Pierce Phelps Carrier dealer near you, visit nopaycarrier.com.
At 4:42, Union Motors Mercedes-Benz brings us traffic and weather on the 2.
Once again, we go to the Garden State where the big problem is 295 northbound, all lanes shut down at Route 42. So if you are traveling north, once you get to 130, all of a sudden you're backing down completely and not moving at all. You might want to consider taking 130 instead if you're heading up in that direction. Now, 42 northbound is jammed as well from Lower Landing Road to the accident scene because of debris from the jackknife tractor trailer fell down onto 42. The right lane is blocked there. You're backed up on 55 as well for about a mile and a half. Approaching the 42 merge. 295 south is heavy approaching that point as well. That's all just normal volumes. 96 east heavy to the Walt Whitman Bridge to that point. And then Walt Whitman is crawling all the way across eastbound. Now you're crawling on the Ben Franklin westbound into Philadelphia. It's all because of this accident at 8th and Vine involving a SEPTA bus and a few cars. It's jamming things up completely all the way across. Now once you're past there, you're fine. The Vine eastbound is pretty slow all the way across. Now your normal delays delays on 95. The Schuylkill Expressway in and out of town is about a 70-minute ride. Also 45 minutes on the southbound Blue Route from approaching Broomall down to 95. Turnpike eastbound heavy of County, westbound approaching Fort Washington. Mass transit, no major delays. Now, you may have equity in your leased Mercedes. Keenan Motors, your Mercedes-Benz dealer in Doylestown, needs quality pre-owned Mercedes to keep up with strong demand. Call Danny at 215-348-0800 to learn how returning your leased Mercedes to Keenan will return cash to you. I'm Brian Maloney in the KYW 24-hour traffic center.
Brian, thanks. Let's get a look at the forecast. CBS 3 State Timer.
A tornado watch is in effect for much of southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and Delaware through 9 o'clock tonight as a line of strong storms marches toward the area. In addition to the threat for an isolated tornado, these storms could produce damaging severe wind gusts, as well as the threat for large hail and heavy rain. The overnight low tonight, 47, will clear out after about 9 o'clock. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, cooler, and breezy at 63. More clouds Sunday with a chance for a shower, high 66. And Monday looks good with sunshine, high 64.
Now 68, cloudy, getting down to 47. Improve your business forecast with a world-class business retreat for your team. IconaMeansBusiness.com. This quick check of Wall Street, sponsored by Crash Group Retirement. Avoid the crash of tomorrow without missing the returns of today. Visit CrashGroupRetirement.com. The Dow closed up 81 and a quarter points. Nasdaq closed up 27. S&P 500 closing up 13. All news and all that matters to you. On the air 1060 and live anytime on the radio.com app. Download it now. Add KYW to your favorite.
Good afternoon, join Michelle Durham, Project 5 at the editor's desk. 3 things to know at 4:45, sponsored by Jetstream Airport Parking. Domestic violence survivors and others gathered on the Penn campus today to highlight the importance of reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act in the Senate. The measure is facing NRA opposition this past House. Work underway to revamp a string of rental townhomes in historic Park Canyon. Officials say the $14 million project will keep lower income residents in place. Franklin Institute kicked off a 9-day science festival with a big blast. Interviews John McDowell.
As liquid nitrogen started to heat up in trash cans, there was a reaction, an explosion. And thousands of green rubber balls running down on the crowded side of Franklin Institute. The 9th annual Philadelphia Science Festival has launched with more than 60 events throughout the region. Bobby Dubinsky is the president and CEO of the Franklin Institute.
What this shows is there is science around us all the time. And so these events really highlight that. And whether it's you're being a scientist, whether you're in a hospital, you're going to be able to go to the rail park this weekend, and there's a bubble mania there as well as learning other science again for all different ages. And on Sunday, you can be in Fishtown and go to a bar crawl. You'll be able to learn about science at each one of these.
The Adam Blonde Beer is back. Craft it for the Science Festival at Bodyguards Brewery. The festival culminates on March 4th with a free science carnival on the Parkway. More information at KYWNewsRadio.com. John McDowell, KYW News Radio.
Well, Vice President Joe Biden, former Vice President, now presidential candidate Joe Biden, was asked about using the backdrop of violence in Charlottesville, Virginia 2 years ago in his campaign announcement.
This is not who we are here in Trinity. It's not. It really is. In the Atlantic magazine back when Charlottesville happened, and saying that, this is not who we are. There's an American creed. It's about decency, honor.
Biden made the comments on The View today. In his announcement video, Biden took aim at President Trump and seized on the president's response. It's a deadly clash between white supremacists and counter-protesters in Charlottesville. Biden said that was the spur for him to launch a third presidential bid. A Russian national accused of acting as a foreign agent last year has been sentenced to federal prison.
30-year-old Maria Butina was accused by prosecutors of trying to assist Russia in exerting influence over U.S. foreign policy. The gun enthusiast was also attempting to infiltrate conservative groups, according to court documents. Butina will be sentenced to up to 18 months in prison, after which she will be returned to Russia. The lawyer says Butina was not an agent of a foreign government, and while he doesn't agree to the sentence, he and Butina will tolerate it, in his words. Bill Rakoff, CBS News, Washington.
The United States will withdraw from a major international arms trade treaty.
During an hour-long speech which sounded like a campaign rally, the president announced his intention to revoke the U.S.'s status as a signatory of the Arms Trade Treaty.
We will never allow foreign bureaucrats to trample on your Second Amendment freedom.
The
from President Obama, but never ratified by Congress. Bill Raycock, CBS News, Washington.
Thousands in Sri Lanka will not be attending religious services for the time being. Week after suicide bombers killed Easter worshippers, this Sunday services are being canceled amid new fears.
It won't be surprising if the streets of Sri Lanka's cities are quiet on Sunday. Catholic churches across the country have canceled Sunday masses until further notice over fears of more attacks taking place. The move comes just days after the U.S., British, and other embassies issued warnings to stay away from houses of worship and other tourist destinations over the weekend because of concerns that terrorists were plotting future attacks. Cardinal Malcolm Ramjet told journalists that church officials had seen a leaked security document describing Catholic churches and other denominations as major targets for attackers. I'm Steve Kastenbaum.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Coming Cooling Heels. 450.
Riding all the rides at Walt Disney World in one day, it can be done. I'm Peter King in Orlando.
That story comes in the next 5 minutes on Pivotal News Radio.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates. That's why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds the needle in the haystack.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're painting your home, or you're a pro painting someone else's home. Perfect color starts with the perfect paint. PPG Timeless, now at the Home Depot for just $34.98. Get fast one-coat coverage. And it's been trusted by pros for over 135 years. Now it's your turn. Save for doing with PPG Timeless, starting at just $34.98. Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only.
All Phillies all the time. Phillies 24/7 is on 98.1 HD3. Catch the game replay every morning. And Phillies Today every day at noon. Sponsored by Remax. Find the home that's right for you. Create your account at Remax.com today.
This is a message from Ocean City, New Jersey. Now is the best time to book your vacation at America's greatest family resort. Call 1-800-BEACH-NJ or visit ocean3vacation.com.
Pico brings us traffic and weather on the 2.
Well, here we go. The Pico traffic time and energy saving road right now is Route 130 in New Jersey. And I'm not talking about a lot of time saving. It's all because of this big problem on 130 between West Deptford and the 42 is about going to be your best bet to avoid this problem. Save time and energy by going to pico.com/smart ideas. Now, what I'm talking about is 295 northbound. All lanes are blocked at Route 42 because of a jackknife tractor trailer. Now, that tractor trailer lost some of its load on the roadway below. They have the right lane of 42 blocked as well, and 42 is jamming for starting, and then 420 down to 322. Northbound the Delaware State Line, the Commodore Barry Bridge. Your normal delays on the eastbound Turnpike and 422 as well. At this point, Mass Transit is on or close to schedule. Pico has lots of ways to help the business save energy and money. Visit pico.com/smart ideas. Pico, the future is on. One indicator for our traffic center.
Tornado watch for most of our area until 9 o'clock tonight. So after the showers and local gusty thunderstorms roll through, it'll be cloudy and windy, low 49. Sunny, cooler, and breezy for your Saturday, high 64, and partly cloudy Sunday, cloudy shower, 67 the high. 68 now in Collingwood and Mayfair, and 64 at the Acme in Medford. Sponsored by Acme. Sign up today for Just For You rewards. How do you ride all the rides at Disney World all in one day? We don't.
Kate Lindsay and Christina Hawkins say they decided to do the so-called parking challenge of all 46 in one day without using the Disney Fast Pass.
We were in Magic Kingdom, over, and
Hawkins video at OrlandoSentinel.com, and all they spent 18 hours in 4 parks. Plan that got them on many rides when they were less likely to be crowded on a moderately busy day. The longest line, about an hour. They say most of the wait times went quickly, but at the end of the day, they'd had enough. Lindsay is the co-inventor of the Parkeology Challenge and says when this day was over, Peter King, News Orlando.
The Irish band, the Cranberries, have broken up.
The Cranberries are no more.
They gave us songs like Zombies, Linger, the Irish Rockers releasing their final album, a tribute to lead singer Dolores O'Riordan. Her voice is featured on some of these new tracks, the album poignantly titled In the End. Tim Taylor, CBS News.
It's 4:55, time for Money News on KW.
Closed higher, gains were modest. The Dow Jones Industrials rose 81 points on 3.5% to 26,543. The Nasdaq closed at another record high, a 28-point gain. The S&P 500 added 14 points and also closed at an all-time high. Shares of Amazon closed up 2.5%. Online retailers' quarterly results topped forecasts. Amazon may have caused some concern for other retailers when it announced it intends to invest heavily to reduce the shipping time to a single day, orders placed by members of Amazon Prime. Walmart and Target closed lower. Kohl's, which has a returns deal with Amazon, saw its shares rise 1%. It's reported Sinclair Broadcast Group will buy Walt Disney's regional sports networks. The Fox Business Network says the two companies have what it calls a handshake agreement, and final details are being worked out. With Bloomberg on KYW, I'm Jeff Fuller.
Local services gather contents campus to highly consider reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act in the U.S. Senate. It did pass the House. More ahead in 3 minutes.
KYW, KYW-HD, and WIP-FM HD2, Philadelphia. This is the commercial that your financial advisor doesn't want you to hear. And the same thing goes for those guys that sold you an annuity after you went to one of their free dinner. Anybody knows you have a financial plan, and if you're an accredited investor, then listen up. We work with one of Philadelphia's largest law firms to put together an insured investment that will pay you a 10% rate of return with an interest check sent to you monthly, and 100% of your principal will be returned to you after just 1 year. And we have over 500 clients that can vouch for everything I just said. This is better than anything in your portfolio. Anything. Get a 10% return with no market volatility and no long-term commitment. Grab your cell phone or listen to a pre-recorded message to learn more. Call 855-999-46. That's 855-999-46. Call now.
Jeep Freedom Days are happening now at Ross Choate's Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Spring is sprung, and we've got the 2019 Jeep Cherokee Latitude Plus 4x4 at only $199 per month. That's $199 for the Cherokee model. If it's luxury you want, treat yourself to a 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, the flagship SUV, for only $239 per month. $239. Finally, the one that has everyone excited. Lease a brand new 2018 Wrangler 4-door Sport for only $229 per month. Let's drop the top. Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. 7 minutes from the King of Pennsylvania. 866-415-8892. Check out our online reviews. They're great. Now, without the fast talk, Cherokee leases 42 months, Wrangler is 10,000 miles per year, $39.95 due at signing with approved credit. Boost Conquest or loyalty. License to 141 doc fee emission. Details on these offers and more at norristownCDJR.com under the Specials tab.
As a jet car racer, Elaine Larson has had interesting experiences.
I hit a wall at 280 miles an hour.
While most of us don't race jet cars, we get that life comes with risk. But your retirement shouldn't. Elaine purchased an annuity to secure a guaranteed monthly retirement income for life, so her money won't stop working when she does. Find out if an annuity is right to protect your future at retireyourrisk.org.
You're a small business owner, and there's nothing small about what you do. That's why Technology Advisors give you trusted advice, one-on-one partnership, and tailored tech solutions, like computers, Intel servers, storage, networking, plus thousands of accessories and software. No matter your technology needs, Dell is here to help your small business do big things. 877-SI-DELL.
Now you can get KYW's 3 Things to Know. Alexa, what's in the news? Whenever you need to know.
Here's your flash briefing from KYW News Radio in Philadelphia.
I'm Brandon. So 3 things to know. This is your flash briefing now. Let's do the skills in your life. KYW News Radio.
Tornado watch for most most of our area until 9 o'clock tonight. You see showers and locally dust and thunderstorms roll through. And these conditions will give way to cloudy and cloudy skies. Below 49 degrees. Sunny, cooler, breezy for your Saturday and a high of 64. There's 100% chance of the 5 o'clock edition of Reporters.
KYW News Radio. All news and all that matters to you. This is Reporters Roundup. It's Friday, April 26, 2019. Inside the stories that matter across the Delaware Valley and around the world. Victims of domestic abuse urge the Senate to renew the Violence Against Women Act with new provisions that restrict gun ownership. I'm Steve Cowell.
President Trump effectively doubles down on what he said bill protests in 2017. I'm Bob Constantini at the White House.
A Philadelphia man thinks guilty to killing his elderly neighbor during a burglary. I'm Francisco Hansen.
Phillies continue their home series with the Marlins tonight. Also, the NFL draft continues in Nashville. It was 68 degrees and partly sunny at Broadcast Center in Playground, going down to 47. Good evening. I'm Steve McCready. There at the Penn. Domestic violence survivors, also advocates against domestic violence, they made the trip to highlight the importance of reauthorizing the House-approved Violence Against Women Act. That's going to the U.S. Senate, and it faces opposition among NRA-supporting politicians. Covering this story and joining us on Roundup KYW, Steve Cowell. Steve, what exactly are they aiming for? Well, Steve, one key amendment closes what they are calling a boyfriend loophole to restrict gun ownership. Current law already bars spouses or former spouses convicted of abuse from buying guns. This boyfriend loophole would expand existing gun prohibitions to include dating partners convicted of abuse or stalking charges. Domestic abuse survivor Christina Vega, who lived in fear from her boyfriend up in the Northeast, founded the group Love Shooting First. After her girlfriend was killed by her husband who had a gun. In her view, the law should apply equally to spouses or boyfriends because the threat level was the same for victims. Vega says a boyfriend was a gun thief. The threat against her would also threaten to kill her father and their family. So Steve, why so much opposition by the gun lobby? Well, the National Rifle Association is raising several points, one of which is too low a threshold to deny someone a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. It says it will store how politicians vote on the bill. It as a